Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, right? Our Ram trucks, truck of the year, amazing trucks. We have fun Jeeps, and then the exciting Dodge and Chrysler products. Lots of performance there, lots of excitement there. They've done a great job in really creating a full scope product line that could suit everybody's needs. Whether it's a family vehicle or a fun vehicle or a utility type vehicle or a big truck, we've got it all for our customers.
SoundArt introduces an entirely new way to listen to music in your home by combining the best of two products, a revolutionary high-fidelity, low-profile Bluetooth wireless speaker with beautiful artwork. Select from a library of artwork or upload your own photos to personalize your experience. SoundArt ushers in an era of invisible, beautiful, and amazing sound throughout your home and redefines your entire entertainment system. The need to reclaim your floor space and rid your home of unsightly speaker boxes that need to be bolted to the wall is now a thing of the past. Our canvas is printed on high-quality permalite by Breathing Color. And select from our gallery or upload your own. Standard sizes include 16 by 20 and 18 by 24 canvas wrapped. Custom sizing is available, as well as surround sound options.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to L-TAC Cup Series presented by Tucson SoundArt. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Iowa Speedway, where this will be the penultimate race of the season here for L-TAC. It has been a long season so far. We are in the championship round. 6 drivers have been battling it out to get to this point of the season. The championship round has been 3 races. We started all off at Daytona, where we found that of Joseph coming in on a last lap pass in overtime. We only needed 1 attempt at overtime and making the last dash to get the win. Coming into this race, looking like Joseph got to feel a little bit comfortable, but he only has a 7-point gap lead over that of Holden McGill. Then another 7 points back, we find that of Logan Hamilton. And then we find Jeremy Berger 15 points out from Joseph. 17 points out is Taylor Butcher Benjamin, and 21 points out is Grant Peterson. A lot of troubles for that a team of Grant Peterson and for Taylor Butcher Benjamin. They're going to have to gain a lot of points to get back into the mix of things because, like I said, this is the penultimate race, the second to last race of the season. And then we've only got Darlington after this. My name is Sam Dyer. With me is Chris White. Running productions is Carlos Acosta. Chris, Iowa, the 0.88 mile short track. And it's a little different for tonight's race. Usually only run 200 miles at short tracks, but instead we're going, 200 laps. We're running 200 miles instead, which is equaling out to 228 laps. It's going to be a marathon here tonight, but certainly we're expected for a good time.
Certainly, Sam, appreciate it. It's good to be back with you here at Iowa. Definitely a fun track. Sounds like we got 6 guys fighting for it. Some a little deeper in the point situation than others. But, you know, it's going to be exciting. It always is, especially when it's getting down to the wire. You know, you got a championship on the line coming up. Sounds like one more race to go after this, and they're going to be fighting for everything they can get, every spot, every position. And you know, it all matters. Every spot matters. Every point matters. Every mistake's going to matter too. So let's see if we can see some drivers race hard, stay green, avoid mistakes, and we'll see what happens in the end.
Yeah, and drivers trying to get every single point possible. Currently, the drivers are under practice for another minute and 40 seconds. But as you can see on our upper ticker, the drivers that are in green are our championship 6 that are battling for the championship. And their goal, trying to not get into any types of trouble. But Chris, short track racing, Iowa, one of the more unique short tracks that these drivers could be running all season long, but it certainly is a handful at times. What are some of the factors that the drivers are expected to see here tonight?
Oh, just some close racing action. You know, you got a couple grooves you could choose from, but you know, you got a little bit of bumps in the track here and there. I think turns 1, a lot of bumps there. They're going to find it a little hard to pass. I think as the run gets worked in, you're going to have tire wear, of course. I don't particularly like Iowa. Iowa's like one of my uh, not so favorite tracks, I guess you could say, but had some good runs here. But these guys are going to be struggling on tires, I believe, especially with the way the fall off is. Turn one, especially with the bumps there. But we should see some close action and see how these guys work the grooves. I think the upper groove is going to be the groove to go.
Yeah, speaking of tires, drivers going to have 5 sets to work with here tonight. The set they start out with, and 4 in pit road. So they got to pick and choose when they really want to utilize those sets, especially because there are still stages in this championship round. Stage 1 going to be on lap 65, stage 2 on lap 130, and then we race it to the end. And at those stages, a lot of bonus points to be grabbed. If you win the stage, you get 10 points, and it goes down 1 point until we get to 10th place, where they get 1 bonus point. Everyone else at the end of the stage will not get any points after 10th position, and it's looking like we have the potential of 21 drivers racing here tonight. So still looking like the normal field we've been seeing for most of the playoffs, around 20 drivers, but still we're expecting a lot of things to get mixy because we're starting to see a little bit of new faces coming back that were racing earlier, and also some new faces coming in as practice is over. Qualifying starts as Chris qualifying here at Iowa. They've only got 2 laps, put down their fastest lap time, and hope that they don't make any mistakes on those 2 laps as we see the 33 of Robert Pattengale getting on the course now.
Certainly, mistakes can happen anywhere. It's kind of essential here to turn some good solid laps to get the best starting spot you can get. You want to start up in the front. Typically anywhere you go, you want to start up in the front. You start mid pack to the back, you're already setting yourself up for more work than you probably want because anything can happen in front of you. You can get caught up real quick and some early cautions. But yeah, we got a couple guys out here on the track already turning some laps. See the 33 and the 52. Let's see what these guys can do.
Yeah, last time we really ran at some short tracks was during the round of 10, the last round that these drivers were in, where we were racing at that of Rockingham and Bristol. Rockingham was won by that of Joseph Causey, but it was Holden McGill that won at Bristol. And Holden McGill, second in points coming into this and really looking for a great charge. But a driver I touched on last in points of our top 6, Grant Peterson, top of the board with a 22.984 for his first lap. Actually, looks like that could have been his last lap as he's tried to best it, wasn't able to, but still top of the board for the 52. But as I say that, the man who's been on fire these last couple of weeks, Kyle Green, takes that top position.
He certainly does. Takes that top position. Logan Hamilton right there in second, not too far off. Kyle Green, Logan Hamilton's currently sitting on the front row. Some of these guys, like you were mentioning earlier, we got some new guys coming back and joining this racing here, and that's all fine and dandy. But the season's getting towards the end here, and some of these guys running for the playoffs. The more drivers you have, the more chance you can find mistakes, and these guys can go up there and steal those top positions and gain the points when these guys that really need the points might not get that opportunity. So. But the more cars, I believe it always. More cars, more fun, more excitement, more chances for more things to happen. It just makes for more an exciting race when you got more, a larger field out there.
Yeah, and it helps some of the drivers that are further back points-wise, such as, a Grant Peterson, Taylor Butcher-Benjamin, or that of Jeremy Berger to try to gain more points if some of the higher drivers start to have a little bit of a slip-up as drivers on track trying to put down their best time. It's that of Colin Stone. Stone, he is going to be putting his first lap down, and it's going to be 12th on the board after that run for the 43. But Joseph, our winner from last week at Daytona, up to 7th. It looks like he'll be done with his time after that position that he put down. And Holden McGill, he'll be moving up to 4th. Looking at the charts and looking at the drivers, we still get 1 minute and 40 seconds left in qualifying. And looking like that of Kyle Green, going to be besting the top of the line. But again, like we said, the green means that you are part of that championship 6 that are running for a championship, the penultimate race here at Iowa Raceway. Drivers certainly feeling the pressure a little bit more. And coming into this race, the drivers at short tracks have been actually running pretty well, and that is the goal coming into this race is that it continues on. But the biggest struggle I think the driver's going to have to watch out for is this pit wall that we see Joseph running next to. That pit wall that blocks off the racing side of things to the pit lane. If any drivers get loose out of 4, that pit wall could be disastrous for a lot of these drivers and could end a good run for themselves. Chris, I mean, when you get loose out of the corner, I mean, you're hoping that there isn't any pit wall that you go to, but it's looking like that could be one of the bigger things to watch out for. And coming out of turn 2, as it looks like no other driver is going to be touching the speedway for qualifying. Still 40 seconds left, but Chris, we're getting ready. How are you feeling about this race as we're getting inching closer and closer to the starting grid?
I'm getting excited here. I know it's Iowa. It's kind of considered a short track, but we got a lot of miles to turn here tonight. So it's going to be exciting. It's going to be a long one. I'm excited to see what's going to happen. But yeah, as you mentioned, that pit road, pit entry is key. It's key. You can lose it. You can spin out. Mistakes can happen there. That pit wall, certainly, if any of these drivers get into that pit wall, they're going to suffer some damage. Have to use some repair time or fast repair. They're not going to want to do that. That's going to set them back pretty good there. But yeah, Sam, I'm ready for it. Let's get it going.
Well, qualifying has officially come to a close, and that means the drivers are going to start getting on the grid. Top of the board, going to be that of Kyle Green. To his outside, going to be Logan Hamilton. Grant Peterson going to be getting 3rd position with Holden McGill to his outside. Row number 3, finding us with that of Ryan Dengler as well as that of Taylor Butcher Benjamin. And we find that of Anthony Musati going to be finding himself in 7th with Joseph to his outside. Back in row number 4, we find that's Stefan Purcell. That's actually row 5. Then we've also got that of Sean Zeal. Then you've got that of Barrick Uphold and Frank Flores going to be in 12th. Colin Stone in 13th. With that of Robert Pattengill going to be in 14th. Ryder Strauff going to be in that of 15th position with Jeremy Berger in 16th. And we've got the drivers that did not put down a time being led by that of Richard Springer, Nate Brooker, and then some of the newcomers. That's going to be that of Barrett Martin is also going to be having that of Kevin Franks to his outside. And last car coming in is Lauren McFadden. McFadden raced earlier in the season, coming back to race the penultimate race. Why not come out here for the We Raise Bacon 200 at Iowa Raceway? About 21 drivers expected to be here. Looking still, I believe that of Morton might be one of the drivers that we're waiting on, as well as Taylor Butcher Benjamin to get into their car. As that of Morton's gotten in. Now we're just waiting on the one. The one's gotten in. That means the driver's going to be starting to roll off. And, Chris, qualifying is concluded. Drivers getting amped up. This is one of the longest short track races we're going to be seeing throughout the whole entire season. 200 miles, but a lot of could be gained here early on. What do you think the mindset of some of these drivers might be as they're getting ready to roll off from pit road?
Yeah, as we get started here, these guys that are still fighting for that playoff picture, these guys want to be patient. They want to make sure they get to the end of this race, so they want to be patient. But these other guys that don't have playoff points to really fight for, they're going to push hard, and they're going to push hard all race, and because they still want to win, and that's what it's all about. They want to win. So we're going to see some fighting by these guys outside the playoffs, and we're going to see some patience, I think, early on with these guys in the playoffs, and towards the end, we're going to see everybody going for it.
Drivers in line. Is this the procedure of most of the races? Is for the drivers to stay in line, come into pit road, find their pit box early, and you can already see on the way to the entry, if you go overshoot pit lane at all, you are most likely going to be missing pit road, and those water barrels are not going to be kind to you if you find yourself running into them. But drivers coming down and trying to find their pit stalls for themselves. And I love the fact that this is a procedure for these drivers. I've seen in a lot of different leagues where that first pit stop, if it's under green, get a little bit too amped and you kind of forget where your pit stall is at times. And now drivers going to get back in line, stack up, and we're going to go green this time by.
Certainly, we got Kyle Green and Logan Hamilton on the front row as they come down the backstretch. It's nice to see some of these guys got that green windshield banner and green spoiler, identifying them as playoff drivers. And looks like Logan Hamilton, the top starting position for playoff drivers there. So we're going to see what happens as they come to the green flag here.
Base truck getting ready to pull off next time by as drivers are waiting to get ready. They got the call. They are going to be going this uptime as the drivers getting amped up, excited to be racing. Once we go green, the ticker will go back to 1, but for now, drivers just cruising around, being prepared. Again, this is penultimate race. This is the second to last race of the season. And drivers, they got, I mean, what a round this was, Chris. You had Daytona start off, Iowa for race number 2, and Darlington next week. A pretty tough sequence of races for the championship round. It's been different every single round, but certainly exciting here tonight as it's Kyle Green, Logan Hamilton, Grant Peterson, Holden McGill, Ryan Dingler, as well as Taylor Butcher Benjamin, Anthony Musati, Joseph, that of Stephen Purcell, Sean Deal, your top 10 as the pace truck makes the hard left turn to pit road. It's time to go green, the pedals down, and it's time to raise Bacon 200 as it's going to be Kyle Green into turn number 1. Immediately going to be finding himself 2-3 car lengths ahead, but it's Logan Hamilton trying to make a mad dash as they go onto the backstretch. It's going to be side-by-side racing for second. Holden McGill, Grant Peterson, they're still side-by-side.
Yeah, they're trying to stretch it out there out front. We got a couple cars back here that are side-by-side. It looks like everybody's just trying to find their groove here early on. It's very early, obviously, just a couple laps into this one. Some close racing. And that 12 car, Logan Hamilton, looking at the 76, trying to figure out which way to go. This is exciting.
Yeah, I mean, Chris, you touched on it. Drivers going to be picking and choosing which lanes to use. Multiple grooves can be used at Iowa, which is what makes this short track so interesting. It's so different from most of the other courses where usually it's all about staying low, get all the way down that yellow line and trying to find all the speed down there and hope that the driver in front of you makes the mistake. But you're starting to see that of Holden McGill. He's trying to go all the way down to the yellow line. Well, that of Kyle Green, Logan Hamilton, they're running about a half a groove higher than that, sometimes a full groove higher, willing to just find the speed wherever it's needed. As up front, they're single filing up, and I think that's what everyone wants to get into, single file racing, as Holden McGill trying to put pressure on Logan Hamilton for second place.
Certainly, I think we're going to see these guys utilizing, midline in the corners and working the upper line as well. I don't think you're going to see too many guys using the low line. I think the speed's going to be up top there. But as we sit, the 76 still out front. We got, out of the 6 playoff drivers, it looks like we have 5 of the 6 in the top 10 right now, with the playoff drivers sitting 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 6th, and 7th. The only one outside of the top 10 in the playoffs still is in 14th, and that's the 97 of Berger.
Yeah, I mean, that's where we're going to be finding that of Jeremy just lingering. He comes in 4th in points, 15 points out of Joseph, so needs to have a great run for himself as we're watching the one of Taylor Butcher Benjamin and Joseph battling the one trying to make the pass on the inside, but it's the 20 doing everything that he needs to do on the outside, holding strong. They're doing a great job right now up front, just being patient on where they want to attack one another. They move just a couple of positions ahead of them. You find that Graham Peterson, he's trying to drift up and down, find some spot, maybe attack. But right now, early on, it just seems like everyone's recognizing, hey, this is the closest you're going to be. If you're going to make a pass, make it. Otherwise, just stay in line. Let the race come to you. Again, stage 1 comes to a close at the end of lap 65. These drivers still have quite a ways to go until they get to the end of stage 1.
Certainly, the one of Taylor Butcher Benjamin just kind of followed in line right there behind the 20. Again, I mentioned this early on, patience, and we're seeing that. It looks like everybody's just minding their own business, following the leader, and just getting a feel for their car. They just got to get a feel for it, figure out what's going to work, what lane's going to work, and as they improve, they'll find their way around. And Hopefully we see green flag racing all the way to the end. That'd be kind of interesting because then, these stage ends and pit stops will really become factors in this one.
Yeah, I mean, that's when we're really going to be seeing the differences of how drivers want to attack to utilize their tires or not. Because if we get an early caution here, even now, I mean, drivers based off of their best time to their last time that they put down, they're about 5 to 7 tenths off of what their best time was. So some drivers might be tempted if a caution comes out, use a quick set so they've got an advantage for the rest of the stage to get the best run that they possibly can. But multicam here on LSRTV, riding on board with that of Grant Peterson and seeing his real speed that he's got, how fast he's entering and exiting, also his throttle control and seeing how well he wants to get back into the throttle, just staying smooth and steady. He's the 52, not trying to get himself into any type of situations that could get him harmed, but still trying to challenge, pick and choose where he wants to attack, as this is still lingering for the battle of 4th place. So here's some of the other stats that are going on for these drivers, as see on board, still with the 52, just lingering and seeing the different spots. A little bit of wiggle there for the 21, as well as for the 52. Everyone's still just right on top of one another, Chris, and you got to be wondering, maybe in the next about 8 laps or so, we might see a little bit of a give on the drivers that have been too aggressive, those that have been just waiting for their chance to pounce.
Yeah, certainly. Not too many changes here early on. Everybody's kind of just holding the ground and whatnot. But yeah, you see some of these guys. It depends, if their tire fall off is affecting them more than others, you're going to start seeing them maybe slip up a little bit, and some of these other guys that have been saving a little bit creep up and take over, and we'll see some give and take here, I'm sure. But for now, we're just kind of, since lap 1, I don't think we've seen many changes.
The 52, though, coming out of turn number 4 and out of 2, you're just seeing the wiggle of drivers trying to get back into the throttle and just getting loose and trying to hold on. And also just the differences of how drivers want to attack the exit. It seems like, watching the 21 at times, he's willing to let that car just drift up. Coming out of turn number 2 and then turn 4, it's all about staying as low as possible for as long as possible until he wants to get up to the high side, which is one of those things where drivers are picking and choosing how they want to attack. But also, Chris, you touched on it, there's bumps out here on this track that some of the drivers are trying to avoid, and others are trying to maximize, trying to help them with some speed. It's the battle for the position to Logan Hamilton under fire. Holden McGill trying to get underneath that 12 car, but did not get the run, lost some momentum, and now we're starting to see drivers stacking up, almost side-by-side racing, and there is side-by-side racing now. Joseph tries to get to the quarter panel as he's diving and attacking for that 5th position.
I see that he's taking the low line there underneath the 8 car. The low line, I think, is a little hard. It's a little tough. Oh, and he almost gets into the 8 car there. That low line, it's hard to come off the corner. You kind of lose momentum when you use the low line, I think, here. And so the upper lane is the preferred line, I think. But you see the 20, he's trying to work, but he saved it there.
Now driving once again, it's actually going to be the 21, Holden McGill. But man, it is just picking and choosing how you want to attack, but it just seems like the 8 of Dingler, he might be losing some speed, might be dropping back. But a driver that's attached to the rear end of this large group that's kind of accordion back and forth on the entry of these corners is the 49 of that of Anthony Musiti. Still, I mean, he's being relentless. It's the 21 of Holden McGill once again to the inside, trying to make the power move to get to 2nd place. He's a little bit closer that time, but it just seems like he loses so much speed through 1 and 2 because he just doesn't get the launch out as well as Logan Hamilton does.
Exactly. It's really hard to come off those corners off the low line and get that grip to keep that momentum. The upper lane is probably going to be the preferred lane most of the night, if not all night. Logan Hamilton is being able there to hold on to 2nd place, but I think that 12 car, or the 21 car is he's going to figure it out. He's just working it right now. He's going to figure it out here shortly. But we got an exciting race going on here. Not too many changes, but we got 5 of the 6 playoff drivers in the top 6 right now. The only one not in the playoffs in the top 6 is currently your leader.
Yeah, Kyle Green, he has shown up since basically that of Homestead. couple of weeks back, and he has been one of the fastest drivers for the past 3 weeks and continuing to show that he's got one of the fastest cars out here once again. And Holden McGill, I think he might have gotten it that time. It's just, it's one of those things of got to pick and choose, but you got to be careful, as like you noted on, 5 of our top 6 are all playoff drivers trying to get the best finish that they possibly can. Coming into this race, it was Joseph in the 20, who's running 5th position currently on track. He came in as our points leader with a 7-point advantage over Logan Hamilton and a 14-point advantage over that of Holden McGill, excuse me, was a 7-point. Logan Hamilton, 14 points back coming into this race. So all these drivers, I think, that were in the championship hunt, expecting and hoping that Joseph would have a fall-off type of a day, but he's not doing that. He's still holding strong, but it's going to be that Grant Peterson to the inside, trying to make a move, and now Logan Hamilton, he's got to be a little bit concerned here on the fact that he got passed by Holden McGill, and now he's still got pressure behind him. Has got to be careful. The 20 contact going to be made as he's up into the wall and gonna hold the brakes. Hope for all the other drivers to be able to drive on by before straightening it out. But Chris, that was kind of mounting up. There was so much tension of drivers recognizing that they wanted to go now. There was going to be a boiling point, and we hit it.
We certainly did. We saw that 21 get by the 12 of Logan Hamilton, start to pull away a little bit. The 12 was kind of slipping there, kind of losing some grip, falling back into the clutches of these guys, and it was kind of bunching them up there a little bit. And certainly the 20 got the worst end of that one.
Yeah, I think that was one of the things where drivers were running as hard as they could. It looked like Peterson was trying to stick it down low. A little bit of net code, and also just that 52 looked like it drifted up, which that's just, a factor of at the time where starting to kick in. I mean, we're 25 laps in when that contact happened. Drivers trying to slide through, and also looked like netcode was the initial thing, but it's just hard racing, nose to toe, wheel to wheel. 20, who won last week, now going to be dropped all the way back to 21st position as the whole entire field comes into pit road. Who take tires and who doesn't this during this caution break? I think that's going to be the biggest question here, Chris.
Yeah, I think majority of these guys will probably choose to use a set of tires here. I think this track eats up tires pretty good, and on those longer runs, you're just not going to go anywhere if you don't get tires. So we'll see what happens when they get off pit road and reset themselves.
Looking at some of these drivers right now, and looks like most of the field deciding to go with just fuel only for most of them, just based off of these times of the pit stops. As you can see on the markers, drivers that took only 6 seconds to 5 seconds, fuel only. Looked at that of Grant Peterson's pit stop, did not take tires, but because of the contact between himself and the 20, decided to just sit in pit road, get that damage repair. Grant Peterson went from battling up in the top 6 to now back to 10th place on this restart. Drivers that went for tires going to be back in 17th position. Jeremy Berger going to be trying to do a different strategy, which the 97, that is what got him into these playoffs, as well as into each and every round, was kind of these oddball strategy calls where he's taking tires in the middle of these stages, trying to get as many stage points as possible, because, hey, if you win a stage, that is 10 bonus points that you get right off the bat during stage 1. Why not try something gutsy like this? And Jeremy Berger, the driver that we've touched on, the one out of the 6 that was not up in our top 6 at the start of this race, he's going to try to make a surge here to get up front. But up front, it's going to be Kyle Green, Holden McGill, Logan Hamilton, Taylor Butcher Benjamin, and Anthony Musati, who's going to be your top 5 as drivers in line, expecting to get stacked up. Chris, we only got to see 25 laps of green flag racing, but certainly we got to see the fact of drivers getting a little bit bolder there as the run went on, as they're stacking up. What were some of your thoughts there in the first 25 laps?
I thought there was pretty decent start to the race. Green flag racing. Everybody got single foul, was holding their own, finding their line, and doing what they had to do to stay out of trouble. But we were noticing the 12 there kind of losing some ground and maybe burning up the tires a little bit. And like I mentioned, it was falling back in the clutches of some of these guys, getting them all bunched up. And here we are under caution. But I think now we got a mixture of new tires and old tires, and we might see a little bit of different stuff going on here. But you touched on strategy, and like some people, they take strategy, and that's what maybe you can win a championship on strategy. You never know. I mean, strategy might be what it takes. Strategy can win a race, can lose a race, but it looks like we're getting ready to go green again.
Pace trucks off, green flag back in the air, as it is green flag for We Raise Bacon 200. Cal Green trying to get up immediately, but Holden McGill, he's right on the back bumper. Aggression piling up as their front runners, and Cal Green, he's been notorious. We've seen the fact that he's willing to get aggressive here, even with the playoff drivers in the championship 6. He doesn't care if you're a playoff driver or not. He is going to race everyone the same. Be aggressive, try to stay up front, and he's doing just that as side-by-side racing going on for the drivers further back, as it's going to be Barrick Uphold up to 5th position, the 92, making a late charge here as we see multi-cam drivers up front, as well as the 49, a Musati to the inside, trying to make the pass on Dingler. As they're side-by-side, coming at turn number 4. Chris, driver certainly getting antsy, and it's time to make those surges again.
It certainly is getting a little dicey here, but the 76 is maintaining lead as he has from the green flag start of this race. The 21 following in second, 12 of Hamilton in third, Butcher Benjamin there in fourth, and the 92 alongside the 49. They're fighting for the top 5. It's getting a little dicey here. I'm seeing some looseness out of these cars too. Some of these older tires probably not gripping very well. But it looks like they're getting back in single file here, except for a little bit of double file a little further back.
Looks like Purcell going to get a little bit too high, almost brushing the wall a little bit, and a wrecking going to be happening. Yellow flag out in the air, and that, we'll believe, is that of Frank Flores making contact, as well as Lauren McFadden in the 82, both slow on the back stretch. Damage on the 82 machine, as we'll take a look here on the replay to see what happened further back in the field as drivers get, oh boy, McFadden drifting up and contact with that of Frank Flores. Similar spot that we saw our last incident, but I think that time just a little bit of difference on the braking zones for both drivers.
Yeah, I'm not sure what happened there. Kind of looked like he may have overshot his or missed his braking point and kind of went in there a little too hard and couldn't turn the car. He drove himself right up into the 23 and into the wall he went. That's kind of unfortunate for both those guys.
It's resetting the drivers, then up into the wall and into one another. Luckily, these drivers, if you do feel like you have too much damage, they do have one fast repair if needed, but I would say you're not wanting to use it in the first stage. If anything, you don't even want to use it for any of time of this race. But it's always nice to have that safety net if needed, as McFadden going to be the only driver in the pit road. The rest of the field just stays out. And since we're out and been seeing some of these wrecks, some close-up action, and hearing all the amazing sounds of these cars, well, why not get yourself some sounds as well as some great pictures, as Tucson Sound Art, a great way to get yourself some music Bluetooth wise, as Tucson Sound Art introduces an entirely new and enjoyable way to listen to music in your home. Why not get yourself an image that also plays music, as Sound Art is one of the easiest 1-2-3s for anyone to be searching out and wanting to get some great sound in their home. So go to that of TucsonSoundArt.com. Tucson Sound Art, you can get yourself, they've got their own galleries of pictures if you want to get them there, or you can also get yourself your own photos, put them on Tucson Sound Art, and have your own picture frames that also plays music. Go to, again, TucsonSoundArt.com for more information. Chris, drivers lined up. It's still Kyle Green up front. I'm looking at some of the drivers. Jeremy Berger, he's been able to move up to 9th place. Means the 97, biggest charger of the drivers with fresh rubber, and wouldn't be surprised with this little reset, giving him a little bit more time to charge up front and another shot to try to gain more positions quickly as stage 1 comes to a close on lap 65, at the end of lap 65, but drivers get a little bit more of a cool down period for these tires that have been being used up for most of the race.
Yeah, I think those pressure tires are going to certainly help him move up. If he takes advantage of that, he's going to get up here and be somewhere near the front, hopefully by the end of stage one. And then when they come down to pit again, he'll be up there. So that's strategy coming into effect, where he's kind of getting himself from the back to the front in a different way than some of these other guys. We got the 20 of Joseph back there. It looks like he's in 13th now. So I'm not sure if he used his fast repair or not after that, but he's got some ground to make up after that initial caution early on.
Yeah, and you see again in green our championship 6. Joseph going to be back in 14th position, trying to rebound after the initial contact that brought out our first caution of the day. And now drivers getting set up front. Kyle Green, Holden McGill, Logan Hamilton, Taylor Butcher, Benjamin, and Barrick Uphold going to be your top 5. Anthony Musati, Ryan Dingler, Grant Peterson, Jeremy Berger, and that of 7 Purcell going to be your top 10. Pace truck into turn number 4, waits to make the hard left, and will do so. Pace truck is off. Waiting, lingering. Kyle Green finally gets on the throttle. Green flag in the air here for the We Raise Bacon 200 once again. And it's Logan Hamilton that got a great launch for himself. And now going to be moving up to second place is that of Holden McGill, stuck on the high side.
Logan Hamilton might not have it for very long. We got 21 of McGill on the outside. He wants to take that second spot back, but we got a battle right here with the 1, the 92, and the 49. Looks like the 1 just took it a little wide there. May have brushed the wall. I'm not sure if he got into the wall or not, but here they come into turn 1. Kyle Green in the 76 still maintains the lead. He's having a good run. He's kind of showing these guys up here, these guys battling for championship. But Logan Hamilton was able to hold off the 21 for now.
For now, that is true, but it's going to be the 97 that we see on screen. You got a wall of drivers. That's Uphold, as well as Musati. Jeremy picking and choosing where he wants to put the 97, and he's going to follow the 92 for a second here, but might think about the middle. Nope, gets blocked, defended. Musati and Uphold doing a great job holding on to their positions, trying to stay in the top 5. But finally, Berger finds a position, able to push Musati up. He's now going to get under the 92, and Jeremy Berger with the freshest rubber. He's got about 25 lap fresher tires than the rest of the field, and he's already went from back in 17th place up to 4th in just 14 laps.
He is certainly moving forward, and he's working that lower line, but those fresher tires are going to allow him to do that. He's got pretty much the advantage to use any groove in this track he wants to with those fresher tires, and you can see how much easier it is for him as he goes under the 21 to take over 3rd, and he's looking to the inside of the 12 of Hamilton for 2nd. Maybe he can get up there and do something with the 76. Nobody else has yet.
Yeah, I mean, in the first 25 laps, Jeremy Berger, he was running back in 13th position outside of the top 10. Wasn't looking like he was going to be poised to get any top 10 bonus points at the end of stage 1. But with that little caution that came on lap 25 of contact between Grant Peterson and Joseph, the strategy call from the 97, he's got the freshest rubber, went from outside of the top 10 to now might be a threat to try to win stage 1. It's always about strategy and how drivers want to attack it. As right now, looking at some of the other drivers that are around the bubble spot to watch out for. I mean, Holden McGill, he's trying to just hold on and might be trying to, once again, make the pass on the 12. As it seems like McGill, Hamilton, they just cannot get away from one another.
The 97 is fastly closing in on the 76, the leader. These fresh tires are certainly working out for him. This strategy is going to pay off. If it could stay green to the end of stage 1, he's going to gain those valuable points. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think you laid out the point handout here for the stages. I think he gets 10 points if he wins the race, or excuse me, wins the stage, and that's going to be highly, highly beneficial for him moving forward in this championship hunt.
Yeah, a driver that wins stage 1 gets 10 bonus points, and then it trickles down to 9 for 2nd, 8 for 3rd, and it goes all the way down to only 1 point for 10th position. You're outside the top 10 at the end of stage 1. You don't get any bonus points, and right now, all 6 drivers that were in the championship hunt, well, that for Joseph, he's bouncing back and forth for that 10th position as he is being clamped and blocked a little bit as Colin Stone, Dingler, they're doing their best to try to get by. And as we were watching this great battle, I saw the transition on our ticker. Berger to the lead for the 97.
This is what the 97 was hoping to get out of his strategy call, taking tires. He takes over the lead. That's the first lead change in this race, Sam. This is going to be exciting if he can hold on. Man, it's just crazy to see how strategy works sometimes. And but you know, when strategy helps one driver, a caution flag could easily flip that.
Oh, absolutely. As here's how that pass was made on your top screen. Berger just got on the inside and easily just held the bottom line. Once he was clear, drifted up, didn't give a shot, and has just pulled away ever since. And we fall back to the battle for third position. Logan Hamilton, Holden McGill. They also are trying to hold off that of Musa T and Taylor Butcher Benjamin. Benjamin, for a second there, thought he was going to be dropping back. Now we see the bubble positions. I mean, all the great passes and moves right now. I think the goal for our top 6, though, has to be just finish in the top 10. You're going to take that as a win for yourself. Joseph, our winner from Daytona last week, came in as our points leader with the 7-point gap over that of Holden McGill. With the difference of the drivers right now, that's going to be closing in quite handfully. But man, I mean, you got to be thinking for the stages, stage points, always a factor in this league, and it really just changes the way that you have to think about each race. On once you get to one race, what is the mind games that you go into each stage? As stage 1 will come to a close at the end of lap 65, but side by side, still drivers trying to pick and choose where they want to go. Holden McGill once again at Logan Hamilton trying to make the pass for third, and Holden McGill, he's got a bumper, but will he have enough to get on by on the backstretch? It's just so much power's on the outside. You get so much of a better run as you can get on the throttle sooner, carry more speed. But McGill just a little bit of a wobbly, still wobbling a little bit, holds on. But Chris, we are marching closer and closer to 10 laps to go in stage number 1.
It certainly looks like if it stays green, the 97 made the right call, but right strategy call, taking those tires, shot him up to the front, took the lead. He's out there. I'm pretty impressed with the 76 as well. I mean, Kyle Green started on the pole and led most of the first lap, or most of the laps in this stage, and he's pretty much hanging there. He's hanging there pretty close to a guy that's got fresher tires, and I'm just wondering what he's doing different. Not burning up his tires maybe, but he's still there.
Yeah, I mean, if anything, kind of showing us where the plateau could be for some of these drivers that try to take that advantage, right? I mean, we're 28 laps into this run for that of Jerry Berger on these fresher rubbers, while the rest of the field, 55 laps on these tires. And Joni, you might have a good advantage for about 20 laps, but then after that, you got to hope that you didn't completely just tear them down. As we watch still battles that are going on in the middle of the pack, trying to pick and choose who wants to get where, is Logan Hamilton still not giving up at all for that third place position. And honestly, some of the closest battles that's going on is for that first and third place spots. Currently in that first place position, Kyle Green is not giving up. He's on the inside of that of Jeremy Berger. Kyle Green trying to make sure the 97 doesn't win this stage possibly.
That's exactly what he's doing. Like I said, I'm pretty impressed with the 76 on older tires. He's definitely showing up this field here. The 97's got fresher tires, and he's got the 76 looking to the inside, and they're nearly side by side coming off of turn 3. This is just such a close win, but the 76 knows what's at stake. If this 97 wins this, he's going to get maximum points winning this stage, and this is going to be exciting here as this first stage winds down.
All the way to the third line, trying to find an extra gear possibly on the outside. As Berger trying to hold strong, but he just, that third lane just doesn't have enough grip really for it to be utilized, I think, right now. Maybe later on in the third stage to the end of the race, but here in stage 1, Kyle Green, he lost the lead for only 10 laps and took it back with what looked like practically ease. is now Holden McGill. As we were watching the battle for the lead, he's been able to move up. It's now going to be that for 4th position. Logan Hamilton, Musati, side by side. Logan Hamilton's got to be careful not to be losing any more positions, as across the line, we're coming to 6 to go here for these drivers for stage number 1.
Checking out this LSRTV multicam's a pretty neat feature here. As we watch the leaders battle, it looks like 76 is now pulling away from the 97. And we got some of these guys battling here as the stage winds down back here. And this is exciting. You know what? I think I need to figure out what the 76 is doing out there in this car here on older tires, because you know what? The league I run in, I think we're headed here coming up in the playoffs to Iowa. So maybe I need to get some pointers from Kyle Green. It might help me out coming here.
Yeah, I mean, he's found something, as our front 2 are over 3 seconds ahead of 3rd place of Holden McGill. Watching at a multicam, leaders are the drivers that are on the low camera. On top, going to be the battle that's currently going on for 5th position. As got that of Grant Peterson, he's been able to move himself back up into 7th, been holding strong. As that Barrick uphold, Taylor Butcher Benjamin still side by side, duking it back and forth. As the laps continue to tick away, again, at the end of lap 65, is when stage 1 will come to a close. But once again, we're seeing 5 of our top 7 all playoff drivers. It's Barrick Uphold, Kyle Green, the non-playoff drivers that are running so well currently.
Certainly, all these guys running for the playoffs are in the top 10. They're all looking to get these points. They're pretty much spaced out. We got 21 a little bit ahead of there of the 12 of Logan Hamilton. Logan Hamilton's leading a little bunch of cars here, and they're all just trying to figure it out to get the most points they can get as this stage winds down. Taylor Butcher Benjamin, he's looking to the inside of the 12. They've all got older tires. You know, they're just trying to hang on for what they've got left. And I think when this stage ends, you're going to see them all hit pit road, get fresh tires, reset themselves, and get ready to do it all over again for stage 2.
As coming across the line, Kyle Green continues to just drive around as we're coming to the end of stage 1. Kyle Green by 1.3 seconds out of 4. Kyle Green, winner of stage 1 here at We Raise Bacon 200 at Iowa Speed Raceway. Whew! What a run by this 76 team. And yes, all 6 drivers in our playoffs championship race and round all will get bonus points here, being led by the 97 Berger, who honestly, before our first caution, wasn't sure if he was going to get any bonus points, and he gets the most out of all the championship drivers. As drivers winding around, they'll get back up to one another, going to pit stops. We're going to take a quick commercial break. When we come back, pit stops should be underway.
There are moments that surprise and delight the mind, and there are moments that surprise and delight the mind and the senses. Introducing SoundArt, the world's first truly customizable, concealed, flat panel art speaker system. A revolutionary combination of incredible sound delivered from your most meaningful pictures. When art and technology intersect, there is a seamless blend of creativity and function.
I'm alive in the streetlight, pulling at the stars in the moonlight. Every time I feel you close.
With SoundArt, anyone can print their own artwork or pick from numerous licensed artwork that we have. The possibilities are limitless. Enjoy beautiful and amazing sound throughout your home. The entire surface of your artwork generates incredibly robust sound. SoundArt is elegantly hidden behind a high-grade textured canvas wrap, bringing together the best of sound and art. This innovative design allows for a truly invisible, high-fidelity sound experience without bulky speakers. For licensors and other businesses, we are capable of producing thousands of units per day.
We're using the highest quality materials to give you the best product available in the market. Everywhere you look, there's always art. What I like so much about SoundArt, that you could just pair it and play.
Ansia, Your art never sounded so good.
Every customer, every single time, needs to get our very best. From moment one, my goal managing a team here in the dealership is to make sure that that customer's experience is the very best that they've ever had. We expect and demand total transparency. There should never be a time in that transaction where the customer is wondering or not quite sure of what they're buying or what they're paying or those sorts of things. And having that transparency and doing things the right way is super important.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. L-TAC Cup Series presented by Tucson Sound Art. Here for the We Race Bacon 200 for the penultimate race of the L-TAC Cup Series, as it's the championship round. 6 drivers, that being Joseph, Holden McGill, Logan Hamilton, Jeremy Berger, Taylor Butcher Benjamin, and Grant Peterson, all racing for a championship. 3 races this round. We had Daytona last week where Joseph last lap, our one and only attempt at overtime. We found that 20 making the move as getting the win last week at Daytona, coming into this race with the most points. But because of the way that the stages ran down, some of the drivers going to be placed in some pretty interesting spots. Really, the whole entire gap being put in together as Joseph caught speeding. Looks like he had a little bit of mistake for himself, so got to be careful not having those mistakes for yourself. Otherwise, you're going to be finding yourself all the way back in the back of the line as EOL going to be given for that of Joseph. Well, Jeremy Berger came in with too much damage, so we had to stay in pit road for a bit to get repairs done, as we are going to be going green this time by. It's Kyle Green, Holden McGill, Taylor Butcher Benjamin, Logan Hamilton, and Grant Peterson, your top 5. Pace truck is off. And we are green once again, stage 2 for the We Raise Bacon 200, as it's Kyle Green into turn number 1. Holden McGill following shortly behind, but touching on the fact, Joseph, he's going to be at fresh rubber. Jeremy Berger, damage, and he's going to be running about 40 lap old tires. He did not take tires under the stage break. He's most likely banking on taking tires in the middle of this stage once again. And so Bear Guppold's got to be careful. 92, extremely low for himself as Kyle Green still continues to try to pull away. Seeing some new drivers. Morton of the 9, he's now up into our top 10, running in 7th. And some of the drivers that were running further back now feeling like they have a shot to have a surge forward. As drivers just lingering back side by side. Further back as, oh boy, got to watch out for Brooker. Getting antsy, which is now going to be causing that of Joseph to fade back. But second place, Holden McGill no longer has to really think about any type of worries of that of Logan Hamilton anymore. Holden McGill now pressuring the 76 on the low end. That's for the lead. Up top on that upper view, that is the battle currently for 12th position. As you got Purcell, that of Schrauf, as well as Deal. All wheeling and dealing to see who's going to go where. Deal on the inside as the 58 goes extremely high, and it's going to be that of Purcell making the move forward, staying in 12th position, picking and choosing where they want to go. And behind all these drivers is that of Joseph, who's got to figure out how to cut his way through the field. Nate Brooker sideways holds on. What a save by the 3. Whew. Drivers got to be careful out there. They're getting loose, they're getting antsy, but for the lead, it's still Kyle Green.
Kyle Green maintaining that lead. It looks like they got single file here at the start of stage 2. They're just trying to find their own again. I'm wondering what kind of tire wear these guys were seeing. The 76, like I said, I was impressed in how he was able to run that and win that stage and stay out front so far on older tires. And these guys right behind them, the 21, the 1, the 12, the 49, they got to figure out what to do where they can not burn up their tires so fast and maybe try to do something different to where they can hang with this 76.
Saw that replay of Nate Brooker able to hold on, but whew, that was a terrifying moment. But yeah, like you said, tires, it's conserving them, make sure you get the best rubber later on. I think that is going to be the biggest thing for these drivers to really worry about, because Kyle Green just seemed to keep his pace and was just getting faster and faster as the run went on. But it seems like for the 76, his main thing is consistency. He continues to just run the same laps over and over again, as the drivers behind him you got one lap, they're running faster than the leader, but then they're heating up those tires so much that then they start to fall back. I mean, if you're trying to catch someone, it's so difficult to even try to stay consistent and patient, feeling like you might catch them later on in a run.
Yes, and I wasn't sure why where the 97 had got damaged, and wasn't sure about that. But I see that he's quite a ways back. He's got some ground to make up now after finishing up there in the second position at the end of stage one. But it's part of strategy, I'm sure. I'm sure, like I think you mentioned, he's probably banking on saving that extra set of tires because I heard he didn't take tires after that stage. So I'm curious to see the strategy of the 97 throughout the rest of this race. And but he did get some value points there moving forward, so maybe he's going to do it again.
Yeah, I mean, he got the 9 bonus points from finishing second during stage one. That of Jerry Berger, who's in 21st position. He's got a lot of work to do to get back up front, but right now he's going to be on 40 lap older tires than the rest of the field. That's why he's losing so much ground for the 97. He might be in trouble of going a lap down if a caution comes out, as we're keeping our eyes out on this battle for second place. Holden McGill, Taylor Butcher Benjamin, and Logan Hamilton, your top running second to fourth, and Adam Musati got to be back in 5th position with Grant Peterson in 6th. Starting to see everyone surge back up to the top 6, top 5 for a lot of these playoff drivers. Joseph started back in 21st position with an EOL penalty, speeding under pit road. And for this 20 machine, got that EOL at the start of stage 2, but moved up quite well, up to now 13th. Still a lot of work to do, but I mean, right now doing a really amazing job for himself is Holden McGill. Got to be careful for the one. He might be thinking about making a move on the outside, possibly the inside. But Chris, we're still not even at halfway, and we're already done with stage 1, now into stage 2. I noted on the fact that this race is going to feel like a marathon because it's not just 200 laps these drivers usually run at short tracks. It's going to be 228 because they wanted to run 200 miles. I mean, when you have to run just an extra couple of laps, that must be just changing some type of mindset for these drivers of recognizing, okay, it's going to be a long race. Let's just find my rhythm early so we don't have any mess ups later on.
Yeah, these long races, they certainly feel long, especially when you reach the halfway point and you realize it's only halfway and you still got another half a race to go. It certainly can be draining, mentally draining, and whatnot when you're sitting there just turning lap after lap. But thankfully, you know, it's Iowa. It's kind of a shorter track, so these laps do kind of tick by pretty quick. And I think these guys are handling it pretty well here. So far, not too much carnage going on. Mostly green flag laps, and like you touched on the 20 car there, it looks like he's got some damage on the front end still. So hopefully he's not running into some overheating issues, because that could be a problem for the 20.
Yeah, again, for the 20 of that of Joseph, he's gotten a couple of scares during his charge from back at 21st up to now where he's in 12th. But also was the first car bringing out a first yellow after contact between himself and Grant Peterson. So it might be still from that damage. Not expecting to see any of our real playoff drivers use their fast repair early on unless they blow an engine, which, you know, speaking of damage that these drivers are dealing with, Iowa, a 0.88 mile course. It's, you know, close to almost a mile in length, which is kind of what our standard of our big short tracks. But Chris, short track racing, I mean, how much is damage really affecting these drivers? Because it doesn't seem like it's affecting the 22 much.
Well, damage will affect these cars a little bit here, I'm sure. There's a little bit of a draft down the front stretch and the back stretch, but more so it would affect these guys if it's bad enough to block airflow through the front end of the car, causing the car to overheat. That's more of a problem here, I think, than any draft effect would be affected. So it looks like he's fine. The 20 car is still. Oh, looks like we got a car on the wall. The 92 just hit the wall. Pretty good. He's gonna have some damage there.
Oh boy, you're not hoping to get any help into the wall, but the 92, yep, into the wall, and that's the first time we've seen him get close to the outside wall, but that time for sure contact. Running in 8th place is Barrick Uphold. Barrick's gonna try to defend and stay on the inside. Right now, a lot of different drivers, as you'll see on the top side. Replay. What happened? Got a bump shoved up into the outside wall and find himself luckily holding on. But contact from the 8 into the corner. And, you know, some drivers, different braking zones, and certainly going to be something to watch out for later on if some drivers didn't like the contact that they were just given. And now trying to make the move forward is going to be that of the 49, Musa T. And oh boy, Joseph, also that of Ryan Dingler. Contact between the two. And it just seems like the 8, he's trying his best, might be a little bit worn on those tires. As Stone trying to make the pass for himself. For 8th place on back, it is getting dicey here, Chris.
It certainly is, and I don't know if this thing between the 92 and the 8's done. It looks like they got into each other a little bit there. And what about the 43? You got Colin Stone there. He's having a good, solid run. And I remember a few weeks ago when I joined you in the booth, I believe he actually won that race, if I'm not mistaken. And unfortunately, wasn't able to make the next race. So I don't see that he's still in the playoffs, and that's kind of unfortunate because he would have had the momentum moving from that one on. But having a solid run here tonight.
Yeah, that win was back at Las Vegas. Drama was that night for sure, as some of the other top contenders. As I know Merrick Watchhorn that night found himself being parked and suspended for the rest of the season. 92 wasn't able to surge for a chance for the championship. Stone was going to miss a week. So that next race in Miami was a lot of drivers open and banking on some misfortunes. But most of the drivers that were inside the top 6 going into that Miami race stayed in the top 6. But you see now on our tower, still seeing that of the fact of McGill and Butcher Benjamin, that of Hamilton, and also that of Peterson and Joseph now, who's marched into the top 10. It's 5 of our top 6 in points, as Jeremy Berger has been able to move up to 20th. That's because Lauren McFadden going to be out of the race for the 82.
Yeah, and we just saw right there, it looks like the 6 car was getting a little loose, almost got into the 44. But we stayed green. Doesn't look like it looks like just a slight little tap there, but they're able to stay green, keep it pointed in the right direction.
Well, it was the 97 that was banking on a caution to come out so that you'd have fresh rubber during the end of the stage. If we're going to see a caution, it might be from that group that we were just watching. The hard battles for 8th on back. Who's going to be in the top 10? That's Joseph. I believe might have gotten himself up into the wall. Got to be careful. These drivers, they have been running 30 laps on these tires. One of the longest stints we've seen. And Chris, it just seems like the drivers that know they need to start moving forward, they are dealing with a lot of aggression, and that aggression, the tires are just not there for whenever they want to get back on the throttle as soon as they want, which is kind of causing these drivers to fishtail their rear ends and getting close to hitting that outside wall.
Certainly. They're trying to make pass. It's hard to pass here for sure. You know, when you try to use that low line to make a pass, you lose that momentum coming off the corner. You just can't get the right front to the inside. And it's just see them falling back in line and trying it again. Oh, it looks like the 20 car, Joseph's hitting pit road here.
Yeah, into pit road, and he does have some right side damage. And looking like he'll be coming into the pit road, getting some service done for himself. Wait to see if he's going to be taking any tires. Look like it's going to be just fuel only. And taking off is the 20, which could be a sign the rest of the field could be thinking about pit stops here. As again, stage 2 comes to a close at the end of lap 130. So drivers, now I'm think about it as we're past lap 100, inching closer to halfway. Drivers, we weren't given a fuel window of when these drivers were going to have to come into pit road. But we've seen some races where they can stretch it all the way, other races where they can't. Tonight might be one of those nights where they have to come into pit road here, maybe in the next 10 to 15 laps.
We certainly could see that happen. I'm not sure what might have happened on his last pit stop. Maybe he didn't get enough fuel in. I'm not sure, but he's back on the track, and unfortunately, by doing that, he is now looks like he's a lap down. Looks like him, the 97 and the 82 are the only cars off the lead lap. And but if these guys cycle through on pit stops, even if it's just for fuel, he should get back up there on the lead lap.
Drivers all getting dicey on where they want to go, and we're seeing it here now as Holden McGill, as well as Taylor Butcher Benjamin, trying to get by the 97 of Jeremy Berger, who is a first car 1 lap down, so if a caution does come out, 97 will get that lucky dog spot where he lies currently. But lap traffic, we haven't seen it be a factor here tonight, just because of the timings of these cautions, the way that this field is pretty small compared to, and a lot of the drivers still sticking pretty close to one another. But lap traffic certainly can be a factor at times, especially in our last stage of the race. We're expecting, if the race is green from the end of stage 2 until the end of the race, lap traffic might be a factor here, Chris.
It certainly could be. As this race gets further in, lap cars can always pose a risk. You never know what's going to happen if you're the lead car coming up on them, if they're going to let you go by and respect that, or if they're going to hold you up and try to make you fight for it. These guys trying to fight to stay on the lead lap at the same time, these guys are trying to run the race. So it's nice to see some give and take and see some respect. But as more cars go a lap down, then you kind of got races. You got the guys on the lead lap racing, but you also got the guys on the that are down a lap or more racing. If there's a lucky dog in this league, then that's something that they're racing for. And the 97 would currently be in that position, so he's trying to hold his own there too.
As you saw there on our race info, Kyle Green, winner of stage 1. We'll see if he can sweep and get stage number 2. Currently finds himself a second and a half ahead of Holden McGill. But it looks like there's trouble on the front stretch. It's the 6. It's Richard Springer. Spun around. Oh, whoa, no. Bear coupled. Got to be careful not getting to the inside wall. It looks like he'll avoid it. But the 6, oh, rubber banded on the wall. And I'm wondering if he might have gotten help, or he just found a weird spot on the wall for himself.
Looks like the 6 came off the corner there and got inside of the 92, got into the 92, caused the 6 to spin around.
Just drifting up and staying. He's still drifting. Tries to get back in the throttle possibly here, and oh no, Ryder. Nowhere to go in that situation. Oh man. Just hard racing here. And this was around that pack of drivers in 8th place that touched on. If we were going to see a wreck, most likely it was going to be from there, from the drivers getting so aggressive. And woo! Colin Stone. That is a scary situation to have. It's somehow we're going to be right on board with the 43. But Colin Stone certainly had to hold your breath that moment for himself here. Seeing the driver sliding, voids the 6, and then a pull comes up and hard on the brakes, and whoo, holds on. As drivers now into pit road, getting service done. Oh boy, drivers had to pick and choose who wanted to stay out, who wanted to stay in, and Jeremy looks like deciding not to go into pit road possibly here. Got his wave around for the 97. So we got the lucky dog spot. Gonna be trying to take the wave around is the 22 of Joseph, who should be good on fuel. There are some drivers staying extra long in pit roads. Purcell, Uphold, Stroff as well.
We got the 97 hitting pit road there.
Yeah, finally coming into pit road. He's going to be on the lead lap, getting that lucky dog position. So we'll see if Berger's going to be taking tires or not here, because still we're in stage 2. Stage 2 comes to a close at the end of lap 130. So still plenty of time. If he takes tires, should get back in the mix of things here. And he's not taking tires, fuel only. So he's going to be making sure he can take a set of tires at the end of stage 2. Got his big bonus points day for that of Jeremy back in stage 1. Now it's all about just surviving here at the end.
It certainly is. We're going to be winding down with stage 2 here soon. These guys are going to be fighting for everything they can get to maximize their points. And certainly the 20 and the 97 look like they've set themselves up to have enough fuel to make it to the end here. It's going to be exciting. I'm not sure we're going to see green flag. We might see some more yellow flags, unfortunately, because it's going to get a little dicey.
Certainly is, and we've got what should be and is our new leader, Taylor Butcher Benjamin, top of the board with the better stop. Looking at the times, looked like the one a little faster while driving through pit road. Pit stops on their box exactly the same, but the one able to sneak out ahead of the 76 of Kyle Green, and you're now going to be finding Kyle Green in second place. We'll see if he's able to attack and get by the one. We saw before that yellow Kyle Green had over a 1.5 second lead. See if he can continue that on. As Jeremy's going to be having to stay all the way at the end of the line for the 97 for getting the lucky dog spot. But some drivers come back into pit road. That of Purcell, Uphold, still getting service done for themselves as well. And Richard Springer able to get back out running for the 6. As drivers are in line, getting ready to go. Chris, you threw it out. There's a potential of, more cautions coming out. We saw that battle for 8th. Very dicey on the fact that drivers were willing to get so aggressive as the field is getting stacked up once again. Any thoughts that, it might be the drivers up front that get a little bit too aggressive, or do you think it's going to be the middle of the field still trying to get everything they can?
I think it's going to be dicey from the front row to the back row. It's just one of those things when the race is winding down, the stage is winding down, and these guys just want to get all the points they can get. We got, looks like 4 of the playoff drivers in the top 6 right now, so they want to maximize as much as they can. I'm not sure about the 97 or the 20. They're kind of far back there, but they've got a little bit of time to try to get up there and do what they can. But we're gonna see a little bit of excitement here. And one thing we got to note though, like the 6 car, it looks like he took a fast repair, so he is one of the drivers out there that doesn't want to get involved in another incident because looks like he's used his fast repair up already.
Green flag back in the air, and it's the battle for second. Anthony Musiti able to and willing to shove the 76 to the high line, but gets loose as Musiti going to be losing ground, dropping back from second back to 5th. And Kyle Green, aggressive once again to the inside. Contact for the lead!
Kyle
Butcher Benjamin sliding into the grass, and no yellow waves. We stay green as the 1 drops back, and Kyle Green drops the 4th. Oh,
wow.
No. A great point, stage 2 for that of Butcher Benjamin. Now goes back to the 18th position outside of the top 10. Might go from possibly 9 to 10 points this stage to 0.
That is unfortunate for the 1 car. He suffered the most out of that as Kyle Green in the 76 was able to maintain his position somewhat towards the front as he's battling the 49 right now for the 4th position, or the 3rd position, excuse me. And we got the 21 of McGill and the 12 of Hamilton, your top 2 spots right now.
Yeah, and really right now, those are the 2 drivers that have been duking it out from stage 1 to currently. I mean, they have been on top of one another all race long. No surprise, they're still battling as hard as they can. And looking good currently. Again, stage 2 comes to close at the end of lap 130. And drivers further back, the battle for 6th on back. Still hard racing for them all. As Grant Peterson able to move forward, but on the inside, Kyle Green once again as, car sliding on the inside. That's going to be Kevin Franks as well. Oh, man. Franks getting himself finally get going, but another quick caution. And this is going to be putting us less than 10 laps to go once we go green again to the end of stage 2. Here's the replay of what happened, and contact there. Drivers once again, hard look into that inside pit wall that I touched on at the beginning of the broadcast, where drivers did not want to get hit. And just saw the 20, Joseph trying to get by traffic, and instead of making the pass, drove through, and it came to a hurt for Kevin Franks.
It certainly did. That was a hard lick, like you said, on the inside wall there. I'm sure that car is feeling hurt. It's going to need some pit road attention, I'm sure. That's unfortunate. But the The one of Taylor Butcher Benjamin was probably hoping for this to kind of re-bunch up and regroup after what just took place early on in this a few laps ago here, and that's unfortunate. You see how quick turn of events can happen. It's just in the blink of an eye, and things just change drastically.
Yeah, and going to be having some of the drivers further back that had all this contact. The 1, the 20, 58, 57, and the 98 all into pit road, getting service done. And trying to make sure that they can get some type of their damage repaired here possibly. And tires look to be putting on the 1 and for the 20. Playoff drivers, championship contenders, they recognize they need these bonus points. And it might come to a cost of their strategy to go for a win possibly here with the position they're coming in with. This is going to be one of the last chances that this field has to come into pit road before stage 2 and pit road is closed. So, Chris, I mean, for some of these drivers, it's a gutsy call for that of Joseph and Taylor Butcher Benjamin. They're going to be back in 16th and 17th place, having fresh rubber and having the freshest of tires of everyone out on track.
Yeah, I'm thinking that's a good strategy call there. I'm not sure, but they took tires now, and that's going to set them up to finish stage 2, and certainly going to put them probably towards the front for stage 3 at the start of stage 3. And I think they're probably strategizing maybe one stop in stage 3 to get them to the end. Depends on how these laps go. If we got green flag or yellow flag racing in stage 3, but I think they're gonna bank on maybe one more stop in stage 3 to get them to the end.
Yeah, because now this is putting both the 1 and 20 in a similar strategy of where that Jeremy Berger is in the 97, because the drivers have to be picking and choosing how they want to be going after the field, because they only have 2 sets left in pit road for that of the 97, the 1, and the 20. And all these drivers now have to figure out, do you want to take one of your sets when you come into pit road for stage 1, or do you want to take that final set when at the end of stage 2, or do you want to save it for maybe an oddball strategy once we get into that final stint of this race?
Yeah, I think they're all set for stage 2. I think they're going to save their tires, whatever's left for stage 3. The more tires they have further in this race, the better chance they can have that grip later in the race if they need it. But I think they're all still going to be chasing that 76 car here at some point. That 76 is just pretty solid, I'd say.
Kyle Green going to be second car on the outside. When they stack up again, going to be in 4th place. But do a quick rundown of where the drivers are at currently. Holden McGill going to be in 1st position with Logan Hamilton in 2nd. Anthony Musti going to be in 3rd with Kyle Green in 4th. Grant Peterson going to be finishing out your top 5. With that, Barrett Morton going to be in 6th position in the 9. Having a great run for this 9 machine. With that, Colin Stone, Nate Brooker in 8th. With Ryan Dingler in 9th, and in 10th place, it's got to be that of Robert Pattengale, as we are going to be going this time by. Pace car lights are off, and we're going to be having an 8-lap shootout here to finish out stage number 3. Unless we get a quick caution in the first lap or 2 of going green, then we might go into a 1 to a 2 lap shootout for the end of stage 2. But, whew, Chris, it's going to get spicy here.
It certainly is. Restarts this late in the stage with just a few laps. It's pretty much, like you said, a shootout. And when you have a shootout, it's everybody pedal to the floor, all for nothing. They're just going to try to get what they can get and hope they can get to the end of the stage without getting involved in some kind of a wreck. But, cautions breed caution, so I guess we're going to see what happens.
Logan Hamilton did not get going, gave 3 cars moving forward, as it's going to be Musti up to 2nd. Hamilton's able to fight back, but it is push Green back to 5th spot, and everyone on the high line went nowhere with Holden McGill, Musti, Hamilton, Peterson now side by side with Green. Green on the outside trying to make a move here, but it's going to be that of Holden McGill trying his best to hold off the rest of the drivers behind him. We'll also try to keep our eyes out on how the 1 and the 20 make their charge forward with fresh rubber. But right now, it's side by side. Peterson going to be dropping back to 5th as Kyle Green has to pick and choose how he wants to march forward. The driver that won stage 1 in a dominant fashion, trying to do it once again.
The 21 of McGill, your leader, can he hold on for just a few more laps as he is doing in front of the 49 and the 12? Kyle Green sitting there in 4th. Still hasn't made a move. Looks like he might be saving tires here as he's probably getting ready for stage 3. He's probably thinking ahead stage 3, but the 21 of McGill, can he do it?
Holden McGill going to be holding off that of Anthony Musadi, and we saw that. The 20, Joseph, he is backing off a lot. He is the last car in line of our field, and he is deciding to do so to save his tires for the end of the race. While the other driver that came in to take tires, that's Taylor Butcher Benjamin. You see on the bottom camera, he is making the charge, and now we're going to move it up to the top. That of Taylor Butcher Benjamin. He is making the charge. Carlos messing with me. Swap the cameras for you, the audience. But the one Mountain Dew machine, he is making the charge in green, and he is now up to 8th.
Well, the one of Butcher Benjamin, he's doing something similar that the 97 was doing in stage 1. With those fresher tires, he's taking complete advantage of that and trying to get the most he can. Certainly doesn't want to see one of his competitors up there, the 21 and the 12, getting more points than he can, right? So he's certainly going forward inside the 9 right now. It looks like he's up to the 6th position, and he looks like he's taking over the 5th. Look how fast he's going. These tires are working out for him.
Pit road is now closed. It's the end of lap 130 when stage 2 will come to a close, and Holden McGill, he's hoping that the 3 cars behind him will stop the one of Butcher Benjamin. Kyle Green running just a groove higher, and because of the fresh rubber, the one able to stay low and trying to take 2 for 1 on the front stretches. Taylor Butcher Benjamin up to 4th, now going to be trying to make the charge up to 3rd as we are on the white flag of stage number 2. Holden McGill leading by 3 car lengths and continues to do so as the one of Butcher Benjamin goal try to move up another spot, but it's going to be the 21 Holden McGill winning stage 2 here at Iowa for the We Raise Bacon 200.
Wow, what a exciting finish to stage 2. 21 was able to hold off and win that stage, getting himself 10 points. Man, what a charge by the one of Taylor Butcher Benjamin, taking full advantage of those fresh tires to turn what was just a few laps ago a devastating incident, setting him back to turn around and capitalize with a solid finish in stage 2.
Very solid finish. I mean, a rebound from the contact that he got earlier and trying to make the surge forward. It's getting late, that is for sure. As we're past halfway for these drivers, we're gonna do a quick step aside. When we come back, driver's gonna be done with pit road, and also we hope to talk to our stage 2 winner, that of Holden McGill.
Every customer, every single time, needs to get our very best. From moment one, my goal managing a team here in the dealership is to make sure that that customer's experience is the very best that they've ever had. We expect and demand total transparency. There should never be a time in that transaction where the customer is wondering or not quite sure of what they're buying or what they're paying or those sorts of things. And having that transparency and doing things the right way is super important.
There are moments that surprise and delight the mind and the senses. Introducing SoundArt, the world's first truly customizable, concealed, flat panel art speaker system. A revolutionary combination of incredible sound delivered from your most meaningful pictures. When art and technology intersect, there is a seamless blend of creativity and function.
I'm alive in the streetlight, pulling at the stars in the moonlight. Every time I feel you close.
With SoundArt, anyone can print their own artwork or pick from numerous licensed artwork that we have. The possibilities are limitless. Enjoy beautiful and amazing sound throughout your home. The entire surface of your artwork generates incredibly robust sound. Sound art is elegantly hidden behind a high-grade, textured canvas wrap, bringing together the best of sound and art. This innovative design allows for a truly invisible, high-fidelity sound experience.
Welcome
without
back,
bulky
ladies
speakers.
and gentlemen, to L-TAC Cup Series for the penultimate race of the season. As we're going to be bringing in our Stage 2 winner. We have Holden McGill up in the booth for our Stage 2 winner. Holden, what a run for yourself there for Stage 2. A lot of drama happened there in the last 30 laps, but you found yourself getting the maximum bonus points there.
Yeah, just kind of the beneficiary of unfortunate circumstances. I hated to see Taylor get spun like that. He really needs a good race.
Yeah, I mean, Holden, we're starting to see drivers on the exit of the corners. We're just fishtailing it at times. How difficult has it been trying to get out of these corners with the amount of speed that these cars have been carrying?
It hasn't been too terrible. It's just you get back on it just a little bit too hard, and it's going to go sideways on you, and everyone's figuring out firsthand that.
Well, Stage 1 and Stage 2 are now closed. Just a mad dash to the end. How are you feeling about yourself possibly getting a win here?
Pretty good. I've been doing pretty good at saving tires. Just I like to go as much of the race without yellows as we could. I enjoy it once we get a little bit strung out. I'm just not crazy about these short runs.
Yeah, it is for sure. That's Holden McGill, your Stage 2 winner. Holden, we're going to send you back down to your team, but good luck here tonight.
Thank you. You have a good one.
As that was Holden McGill, our Stage 2 winner. Chris, I mean, it just seems like it's more of the drivers up front would like the race to stay green. But I think you and I both have a sense it's most likely just going to get more and more intense as the race goes on.
Oh yeah, I'm sure it's going to get more intense as the race goes on for sure. These cautions can breed cautions though, and I'm not saying that the stage end is a caution like a wreck caution would be, but anytime you bunch the field up like this, it presents the opportunity for things to just go bad for these drivers. So like he was saying, when this race gets strung out and these guys get some space in between, each driver can just run their race and just race the track, see what their car is going to do on the longer run. And you know what? Maybe the 21 feels he might have a better running car, 30 to 40 laps into a run. So we'll see. But you know what? That 76 of Kyle Green, we already know from the start of this race has been pretty dominant on old tires. So we'll see what happens. It's going to get fun.
Certainly is. Taylor Butcher Benjamin, Holden McGill, Anthony Musati, Logan Hamilton, Grant Peterson, your top 5. Pace truck is off, and we race it to the end for the We Race Bacon 200. Who's going to have the best points going into Darlington next week? We'll find out. We already finished Stage 1 and Stage 2, but Holden McGill, he's already fallen back, and got to be careful of that outside wall. The 21, Holden McGill, rushing it. And now he'll fall back to 4th place as it's going to be Butcher Benjamin leading this lap. And hold on, Logan Hamilton, the 12 getting out of control.
Pretty exciting here to start the final stage in this race. We got some cars getting loose, some cars brushing the wall, and we got the lead side by side, the 49 to the inside of the 1. Yeah, Sam, it's going to get exciting here. I think these cars are going to be rubbing on each other, bouncing off each other. But yeah, let's hope we get some green flag laps in here.
We're hoping for it, but it is already go as the 49 getting a little bit too high, didn't want to hit the 1, gets hard on the brakes to make sure Anthony Musati does not ruin Butcher Benjamin's race. And because of that gesture of kindness, you don't see it very often, especially when we're past halfway. Anthony Musati giving space, and now going to try to attack once again. But drivers getting back in line. Pick and choose how you want to be moving forward. The drivers in green on your ticker are your championship 6 that are running for a championship. Drivers that have the gray backgrounds for their numbers. Drivers that have won a stage here tonight. And Kyle Green trying to make his way forward, but also for the lead. Once again, it's Anthony Musati, Taylor Butcher Benjamin, side by side into 1.
49 trying to take the lead, utilizing the lower line, which is very hard to do. unless you have fresh tires. It's hard to get that momentum or keep that momentum coming off the corner there. But the 49 looks to have taken that position away, and Taylor Butcher Benjamin will fall back to the second position as he's being pounced on there a little bit by the 12 of Logan Hamilton. And these guys, they gotta figure it out, because the 76, as you see there, is coming forward, and they all know that Kyle Green's got a solid car, especially on the longer run. So these guys don't want him to get up there and take the lead back.
Yeah, you really don't want him to do that at all, but it just seems like we're starting to see some of the drivers already fading. The one, Butcher Benjamin, went from the lead back to third. Logan Hamilton now going to be moving forward, and right now, Kyle Green doing everything in his power, and again, for the one, as well for the 20 of Joseph and Taylor Butcher Benjamin, they're on the older tires, about 12 lap older tires. And for that of Butcher Benjamin, he was aggressive early on in the stint, trying to utilize the maximize so he can get the best points possible, finish third at the end of stage 2. But now he's starting to feel the wear and tear. It was great for those first couple of laps, but now you see the 20 of Joseph. He's still willing to be and able to be slightly aggressive here, trying to move forward as he's following the 9. Currently, actually, he's trying to move forward past the 8 of Dengler, and then we also starting to see drivers further ahead, picking and choosing where they want to go. Chris, it's now for the drivers. They got to figure out when they want to make this pit stop, because we know they cannot make it to the end. Most likely, most of the drivers were expecting to split this thing in half or come to pit stops around lap 190 is the window that we're looking at.
I think the 1 and the 20 both are hoping that this race stays green, because I think their strategy is going to depend on green flag racing. You're going to see the 1 and the 20 probably hit pit road pretty much at the same time or within a lap or two of each other. But I think they're betting on this race staying green in order for their strategy to work out for them. These other guys, however, are going to have to pit likely after them. So it all depends if we get yellow flags or not, and we'll see how this all pans out.
We saw on the end of stage 2 was around 8th position, where drivers were getting dicey. A pack of 6 drivers just kept on being on top of one another, and that's what brought out our about 2 cautions ago, because we had the stage break of stage 2 and then a caution.
Whoa, the
that
car got loose there.
Whoa. Drivers got to be careful. Don't want to get yourself mixy here. As yes, most of these drivers have a safety net of still their fast repair, but you don't want to use it just yet or at all this race. And gotta hold on, Chris. I mean, drivers, we heard it from Holden. If you get on the throttle just a little bit too much, it feels like that rear end just wants to take off on you.
It certainly does. Cars get a little squirrely, get a little loose. These tires, once they set in, once they wear in a little bit, it starts to settle down a little bit. I think from my experience on this track, the car just gets a little pushy. It gets a little hard to turn as these tires wear down, especially that right front. I particularly don't really care for this track too much, but I know that in my league, we're headed here.
Man, Holden McGill, gotta be careful for the 21. He's running in 4th place, but Stone. Oh no! Contact!
No!
Joseph calling Stone. Contact on the back stretch. Bringing out our 7th caution of the day. 5th on-track incident to bring out a yellow. And for the 20 of Joseph, it was trying to make us charge forward, but it did not go well. There was already sliding in the entry of the corner from the 43 as well as the 20, and it just didn't end. Coming out of turn number 2. That's a very interesting wreck. Wow. I mean, I'm wondering what possibly was there damage to the 20 that maybe we're going to go a little bit further back. This is coming into turn number 1 that got that first initial smoke to happen. And it looked like there might have been contact there. We've seen drivers just dive in so deep. And they're just looking for the same real estate there.
Yep, I'm sure that's what it was. The 20 was coming up there a little bit, got into the 43.
Just comes up, and hard contact for both. Colin Stone, our winner from back at Las Vegas. Joseph most recently won back at Daytona last week. Start out the championship round the best way possible. We have quite a few drivers coming in. Taylor Butcher Benjamin coming in as we continue to watch replays of this incident. And this is from the lap before. This is kind of setting up what happened for these drivers. And was there an incident that might have got the drivers a little irritated? 43 gets moving. He's going to be trying the inside. That just looks like, for the 43, he was trying to dig in deep, and I don't think he was expecting Joseph to slow down on the entry of the corner. And then coming out, probably thought he was clear coming back up.
Yeah, that's what it looks like. Looks like a little bit of racing, just racing incident there. Trying to gain the same real estate, and it just doesn't work out when two cars try to take that same spot.
Well, you touched on the fact that maybe drivers were gonna, bank on the race staying green. Well, our top 10 all stayed out, while everyone else, led by Jeremy Berger and Kevin Franks, got fuel. Then Butcher Benjamin, Sean Deal, as well as Ryder, Stephen Purcell, Joseph, getting repairs for that of the 58 as well as the 57 and the 20. And as well as it looks like tires going to be grabbed for these drivers back here, being led by Taylor Butcher Benjamin, meaning they are on 20-lap fresher tires than the drivers that are in front of them in the top 10.
Yeah, and I'm seeing the one hitting pit road right now, along with the 43, the 97, and a few others. Looks like they might be coming down to maybe get some tires and fuel, or maybe just fuel only.
Maybe top off with fuel once again. Maybe try to figure out if this race goes green to the end. Try to figure out the math to stretch it out a little bit further. Or these drivers might still have some damage that needs repaired, trying to stay on the lead lap.
Looks like the one's taking some tires, so we got some more strategy in play here.
As drivers in line, prepared to go. Chris, I think that you might be still on. Look at the preview. Looks like Colin Stone, hard contact for the 43. He's still in pit road, as well as Ryder and Purcell, and took the tow was the 43. So it might be calling it a day, or he's gonna have to take the tow then, use a fast repair. That's gonna mean he's gonna be multiple laps down. As up front, it's going to be Anthony Musatini, Logan Hamilton, Holden McGill, Kyle Green, and as well that Morton going to be in that 5th place position, as well as Grant Peterson. Well, Chris, we're now finding ourselves inching closer and closer to the end of this race, but our 5th on-track incident, bringing out a yellow, our 7th because of stage 1 and stage 2, and bringing out the yellow for that, but drivers stacked up, ready to go. We got some hungry drivers outside the top 10 with fresh rubber. I'm excited to see how they're going to cut their way through this pack, but the drama we know is only going to ramp up. Short track racing, drivers on different tires, different strategies. It's only going to get better from here. We race Bacon 200 green once again.
Here we go. Back to green flag racing. The 49 shoots out to the front in front of the 12 of Logan Hamilton. We got Kyle Green to the inside of the 21. As they go down the backstretch, the 49 is leading the way.
And he's going to be making the move the best that he can, side by side, for that 3rd place position. Going to be grabbed by that of Kyle Green. Holden McGill going to be still holding back and forth. It's all about getting single file, then starting to make your decisions on how you want to pick and choose to go forward. First driver of those with the freshest rubber going to be that of Joseph in 9th place. But for that of Anthony Musati, what a charge for himself. Missed out on a chance to make the playoffs. Really wasn't here for the first round of the playoffs. Came back, trickled in halfway through round 2, which was the round of 10. And he's been showing up and showing a little bit of speed each and every week. But this has been the best showing so far from the 49 since I've been watching, and it has been a blast to see this driver coming into tonight's race, putting on the pressure, and showing to these playoff drivers you've got to work for every position.
You certainly do got to work for every position. The 49 running out front, running strong. Looks like he still has a green windshield banner. It looks like we need to discard that. The 12 of Logan Hamilton, though, he is a playoff driver, still running strong. And we look like we've got all of our playoff drivers in the top 10, except for the 97 of Berger. Looks like he's got some work to do. He's about 3 seconds behind the lead right now.
Yeah, going to be coming in with older tires than everyone else, so most likely going to be finding himself falling around 12th to 14th. It's going to be where he's going to be finding his placement for the 97. For the rest of our playoff drivers, Taylor Butcher Benjamin going to be making his charge up 8th. He's got fresh rubber. Same with Joseph, who's the 20. And trying to make their moves as fast as possible for themselves. And touched on the fact of Colin Stone having to take a tow. Well, he's 2 laps down, but back out on track as the battle for the lead still looking like the 49 doing a great job. But Kyle Green, we know he wants to be aggressive, and he has to, because here comes the 20. Joseph, fresh rubber. He is on the tailpipes of our front 3.
He certainly is. I was just watching the 20 car. He is moving forward. He's trying to figure out how to get around the 76 of Kyle Green, because you know that 20 car wants to get out front. He's tired of being behind these guys. He doesn't want to get caught up in anything else. He just wants to get up front, lead this race, and hopefully secure himself another win.
Gotta be careful. Gonna be going onto the apron just slightly, almost a little bit of contact, but holds on. As Joseph forcing the issue, recognizing he needs to get aggressive if he wants to get by Kyle Green. We saw this earlier, Chris, where the drivers had a 20-lap difference of tires. And it was the 97 who got out front, had about a half a second lead. And then we saw the drivers that were on the older rubber, after about 20 laps, were able to equal out. There was a kind of a parallel period there, as we're seeing the 1 making the charge forward as well as the 20. And Chris, I'm wondering if the same thing, we're seeing this aggression for the drivers that have fresh rubber, willing to do anything and everything to move forward. How are those tires going to look here in the next 8 to 10 laps? And are they even going to be able to compete with the drivers on older tires? It's Kyle Green falling back. It's the 1. Butcher Benjamin trying to go low. Almost thinking about 3 wide racing. And Holden McGill holding his breath, watching the drivers in front of him, hoping that they don't cause a wreck.
Yeah, I think these tires, I think you said it. We've seen it earlier with the 97, had that fresh rubber shot to the front, was able to lead, get a good finish in that stage, and then was falling off to the 76. I think we're going to probably see the same thing happen here, especially if the 20 and the 1 both are pushing extremely hard. They're going to burn up those tires pretty quick, and then, like you said, it's going to equalize, and these other guys are going to come back and retake those positions. But for now, the 20 is charging forward and is right there at the back of the 49. Looks like he wants the lead.
As we're watching and seeing the 21, you also see that leading 6, that of Richard Springer. What a recovery. This has just been a rebound type of a night for the 6 machine. A non-playoff driver, but certainly putting on a show. Was 2 laps down during stage 2. He's back on the lead lap, back on the same strategy, and now trying to make the surge on the high side to make a pass. As Holden McGill gets a little bit squirrely there, and seeing the fact if drivers are running slow on the inside, go where they're not. That means run the high line.
And the 20 of Joseph with that fresh rubber has taken over the race lead and is starting to pull away from the 49. Taylor Butcher Benjamin in the 1 is closing in too on the 49, so it looks like we might have a battle between the 20 and the 1 here pretty soon. But we still got a long way to go, and we got to wait and see if these tires hold up for these guys. Otherwise, these other guys back there, like Kyle Green in the 76, might come back up and retake the lead. So it's going to get exciting. But these guys are starting to space it out a little bit. They're starting to space it out. Some of these guys are battling side by side in the back, but the front's kind of singled out a little bit.
Yeah, and right now the 6 of Richard Springer that we're seeing run the high line and willing to make these moves, he's also on the 20-lap fresher rubber, same as the 20 and the 1. So that's why we're seeing the 6 having such a great surge for himself here. But, you know, touching on that Joseph and Taylor Butcher Benjamin, it was kind of a tale of two stories, because for the 20, he was being aggressive, willing to go 2-3 wide early in the stint. And while the 1 kind of went with the patient approach. Yes, he knew he had the fresher tires and was slowly, methodically making passes. Every once in a while, needed to force the issue because he was kind of trapped in a tough spot. But I'm liking the 1 of Butcher Benjamin's tires here. If he continues to just run it slow, wait, let the race come to him, because the 20, with how aggressive he was early on, he's going to have to slow down at some point to try to save those tires. But currently, he's almost got a full gap, a full second lead over the 1 of Butcher Benjamin, as we continue to watch the battle that's for 6th place and others that are going on. Playoff drivers certainly picking and choosing where they want to fight, as that of Logan Hamilton. He's got Holden McGill as well as Grant Peterson. 3 out of the 6 playoff drivers right now, all in this pocket, hoping that they don't ruin each other's races, but at the same time, trying to get the best finish they can as the finale at Darlington next week for 180 laps. Drivers are certainly getting ready for that one, but mentally, the Playoff Drivers Championship 6, they need to have the best finish here. And for Joseph, he might not have had the stage finishes that he wants, but to win both Daytona and also Iowa, what a way to show that he is certainly a driver to watch out for to win this championship here tonight. Here for this round.
Certainly, if he could pull off another win and win 2 in a row, he's already carried momentum in from the win previously, but to win tonight would just mount that momentum moving forward into the championship week. I think everybody would be looking at the 20 as the favorite at that point and the 1 to beat. And he's certainly trying to do that. He wants to set that stage for himself and make these guys race him for the championship. So 20 is certainly doing what he's got to do. And some of these guys are just back here trying to figure it out, because the laps are ticking down, time's running out, and they got to figure out something so they can get back up there and challenge for that lead.
Looking at some of the different times these drivers and how the gap is grown, it also is diminished. Looking at these drivers right now, you got that of Joseph and Taylor Butcher Benjamin. It has almost been cut in half of where the gap was at lap 172 to where it's now on lap 177. It just continues to shrink, and I was touching on that just a little while ago, how at some point those tires were going to start to give based on the patience we were seeing from the 1, but now we're starting to see that differential equal out a little bit. And also something to watch out for is lap traffic. Might be a few cars. You got Colin Stone as well as Stephen Purcell could be factors if this race continues to stay green.
Certainly, lap cars can always come into play, especially late in the race. You hope to see that these guys are respectful of the leaders, but you just never know. Things can happen. And certainly the 1 looks like he is closing in, and just little by little each lap, and looks like he has the better car of the 2 at this point. And these other guys back here are probably 2 to 3 seconds and further back, and the 20 and the 1 are pulling away. I don't know, Sam, do you think these guys 3rd place and back have any shot at these guys up here?
If they're going to have a shot, they got to be banking on the fact that some of these drivers are going to, everyone's going to have to hit. I think that's what a lot of these drivers have to be banking on. And that's one of the questions of short track racing, especially with the tire strategies calls that have been out here of, hey, do you want to keep your tires the way that they are now, or do you want to come in? You've only got 2 sets. Some of these drivers only had 1 set coming into this stage. You really had to really conserve and hope that if there was a late caution, that you would have just enough time to cut your way through the field. And speaking of the field, we've got a total of 19 still on track. We started with 21. Lauren McFadden as well as Nate Brooker both parked it for the night. Colin Stone going to be the only driver a lap down, going to be 2. And if he's not careful, might become 3 laps down. With that of Stephen Purcell going to be the first car on the lead lap, but he's only got himself a 3-second gap before leaders catch on. But Chris, it's gone down once again. The 1, he is catching up to Joseph.
He certainly is. He's less than 0.2 of a second behind the 20. He's moving up, moving down. He's just trying to figure out which way he needs to go to get around the 20 car. We do see that 43 of Colin Stone sitting out there So we'll see if that comes into play. Maybe the one uses that 43 as a pick on the 20 to get by. Well, I don't know. We'll see. But these laps are ticking down, so it's like, when do they make their final pit stop? Can these 20 car? Can the one car?
Oh no!
Oh no!
Oh no! Contact! Look at Hamilton!
Oh!
Hit and gone around
Oh
as
man!
drivers were trying to come into pit road under green, and disaster strikes as Musati was one of the drivers that was trying to get into pit road, misjudged it, and it kind of caused a chain reaction. Other drivers came into pit road. Kyle Green, Holden McGill were following suit. As here's the replay of what happened to the 12. Hard racing action between playoff drivers and just a simple bump. It's the 12 up into the wall, and you see also the 49 trying to get himself moving forward, but oh man.
Wow. Well, that kind of just threw that curveball into it, so we got to see what's going to happen here. I think everybody was probably going to come to pit road right now. If they've got tires, they're going to throw them on, I'm sure, top off on the fuel, try to reset themselves, regroup, and I don't know, Sam. This is going to be a little crazy as these guys hit pit road right now.
Pit road, drivers deciding, and it's going to be that of Joseph leading the way, and everyone else following behind. We're expecting to see that Musati as well as Kyle Green should be able to stay out. Kyle Green looking to be the first car out, and because the caution came out right when he came into pit road, the timing was practically perfect for the 76. But we'll see if it works out for himself. Looks like he'll be going with a wave around. Excuse me. So getting a little bit overzealous as myself, and that also of Ryan Dingler going to be taking himself a wave around as well. As coming out first, going to be that of Butcher Benjamin, Joseph following suit, and everyone else coming out of pit road. It looks like possibly for Butcher Benjamin could have gone with a fuel-only pit stop for the one.
That's what it looked like. It looked like he came in, was on and off pit road pretty quick. I believe the 20 took tires, though, so I wonder what's going on with there. Maybe the one was out of tires.
Well, oh man, I think the 20 of Joseph, this could be one of his final sets being taken here. Well, the one trying to make sure he still has a set just in case a caution comes out in those final 20 laps. But the rest of the field, they still all have one extra set, I'm pretty sure, looking at some of them. I think the 97 might be in a similar state as the one. But, oh, boy.
I'm starting to think the one of Butcher Benjamin might have thought getting off pit road first and track position was going to be more important. And maybe he considered these other guys not taking tires and trying to save a set for later in the race, too. So we're going to have to see how this works out for him.
And it looks like that of Colin Stone got himself a wave around, so only one lap down for himself. Ryan Dingler was trying to take the wave around to stay on the lead lap, but it did not work out for himself, so he'll be also a lap down. 17 drivers on the lead lap, and we're going to be seeing some of our heavy hitters further back in the field. Musati, Kyle Green, Holden McGill, all are most likely going to be starting in the back of this field, as Kyle Green and Holden McGill are going to be trying to take the wave around here. Butcher Benjamin going to be on the only driver besides Colin Stone that just took fuel, while the rest of the field, 4 fresh tires, and fuel-wise, they are good to make it to the end.
This is going to get exciting. I'm getting excited here for sure to see how this plays out. Cautions breed cautions. I certainly hope we don't see any more. Would certainly like to see some green flag race into the end. Sam, I'm not sure. What do you think?
I mean, we've seen drivers in the first stage and the second stage. Whenever we would get back to green flag racing, it seemed like it was all about get in line, then we'll get aggressive later on once we're in a position of making some moves. But now, I mean, you've got some drivers that you know can be aggressive at times. So Holden McGill and Kyle Green, those are two drivers in my mind that are going to be trying everything in their power to move up through this field as fast as possible. But it might be patience is the key if we somehow stay green. But I think you and I both know, Chris, cautions do breed cautions, short track racing, short tempers. Some of these drivers have been bumped around quite a bit. And so one of Butcher Benjamin, Joseph, your front two, with that of Grant Peterson, Richard Springer, as well as that of Morton, going to be your top five. The one going to be blinking here slightly, which you don't want to have internet connections costing you. But the pace truck pulls off. And green is back in the air. We're green here for the We Raise Bacon 200. And it's going to be Taylor Butcher Benjamin immediately trying to get the biggest gap possible as Joseph, Grant Peterson, they're right on his tail.
They certainly are, and those fresher tires on the 20 is closing back in on the one car. The one is blinking out. He's having some internet issues, and that could become a problem for not just him, but for others on the track that can't see him when he blinks out. Oh, and there's a caution.
The 97 spun around, and somehow he did not hit the wall. This is going to be a crazy replay to see. Didn't make contact with Ryder, though. As we'll see on this replay, the 97 getting going and just loops it, overcorrects. And
whoa, look at
going
that guy riding.
I believe that was Kyle Green. And Green, with that contact, he has left the race. Green, airborne. Does a little bit of Herbie Free reloaded up there. Stage one is calling it a day. Kyle Green being our third DNF of the day. 97 just losing it on his own, and that front end damage came from the contact between himself and the 58. And whew, well,
that is unfortunate to see the 76, one of the dominant cars, or the dominant car early in this race, now has departed after that incident.
And now we're left with 18 drivers in the field. Ryan Dingler going to get the lucky dog. But driver is going to be pacing. Looks like Ryder as well as Berger going to be getting themselves some repairs. But as the field most likely going to be staying out, not expecting too many people to come into pit road, we're going to step aside for a quick second. When we come back, more Green Flag Racing from We Raise Bacon 200.
Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, right? Our Ram trucks, truck of the year, amazing trucks. We have fun Jeeps, and then the exciting Dodge and Chrysler products. Lots of performance there, lots of excitement there. They've done a great job in really creating a full scope product line that could suit everybody's needs. Whether it's a family vehicle or a fun vehicle or a utility type vehicle or a big truck, we've got it all for our customers.
SoundArt introduces an entirely new way to listen to music in your home. By combining the best of two products, a revolutionary high-fidelity, low-profile Bluetooth wireless speaker with beautiful artwork. Select from a library of artwork or upload your own photos to personalize your experience. SoundArt ushers in an era of invisible, beautiful, and amazing sound throughout your home and redefines your entire entertainment system. The need to reclaim your floor space and rid your home of unsightly speaker boxes that need to be bolted to the wall is now a thing of the past. Our canvas is printed on high-quality permalite by Breathing Color. And select from our gallery or upload your own. Standard sizes include 16 by 20 and 18 by 24 canvas wrapped. Custom sizing is available, as well as surround sound options.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to LSRTV L-TAC Cup Series presented by Tucson Sound Art, as we are here for the penultimate race, as it is the We Raise Bacon 200 at Iowa Speedway. It's been a wild race. Stage 1 had one wreck, then we got 2 wrecks, then we got pretty good racing. Stage 2 was great for the first half, then it got a little bit of madness later on. My name is Sam Dierme. With me is Chris White, Carlos Costa running productions, and Chris, we kind of touched on it. It's just going to get crazier and crazier as this race goes on, as we're coming up to almost 30 laps to go. Certainly, tensions are high. We've already seen some drivers be taken out that didn't want to, and different strategies that have been thrown out.
Yes, Sam, we've seen a little bit of everything here in this one, including our race leader, Butcher Benjamin, caught up in an incident earlier and is now out front leading with different strategy from these other guys, and just recently acquired some blinking issues too. So we're kind of curious to see what's going to happen with this one car. We've seen a little bit of it all, and I'm sure we're not done. It's going to get exciting from here on out.
It absolutely will. Ryan Dingler going to be our lucky dog driver for this past caution. 9 cautions, 7 of them have been on-track incidences. 2 of them were for our stage breaks that came out. Stage 1 winner was Kyle Green, who has parked it for the day after being involved in our last incident, and it was Holden McGill going to be winning stage number 2. And Holden McGill got a lot of work to get back up front. This is Butcher Benjamin, Joseph, Peterson, Springer, and Adam Martin, who going to be your top 5. As the pace truck pulls off, we get ready to go green. Green flag in the air as Butcher Benjamin taking off immediately. And he needs to, as one of the few drivers out here on track on older tires by almost 15 to 20 laps, has to continue to stay strong up front, as the rest of the field, they've got pretty fresh rubber and they are doing their best to try to make the pass. As Butcher Benjamin, he's already under fire, as here comes the 20 to the outside. Joseph to the lead.
Joseph on the 20 takes the lead with the fresher tires to the outside, followed by Springer in the 6, looking up there too. He's moved up to second, and the 52 is taken to the outside of Butcher Benjamin. I think we're already seeing the one on those older tires slipping a little bit, and these fresher tires are certainly going to take advantage and get around him. The 20, Joseph out front.
Drivers certainly try not to get themselves into too many tricky situations. Some of our heavy favorites were trapped a lap down after 2 cautions ago, which is forcing some of them to make some abrasive moves further back at 14th. Anthony Musitzi, as well as that of Holden McGill, trying to make their moves forward through the middle of the pack. So up front, we got a lot of new faces that we really don't usually see. Richard Springer in 2nd. You've got our newcomer Morton in 4th, as well as Sean Deal in 6th. You usually don't see these drivers up front very often, but it's great to see some new drivers coming out front and doing a great job with some of the new strategies that have been thrown out. They get to be up front, challenging, and a chance to win, as Logan Hamilton up to 6th and trying to make the move for 5th.
Certainly having all these other guys out there, newer guys or not, they're just trying to run their race. They want to win too. It's good to see them up there having solid runs and getting in the mix. They're also going to juggle it up for these points guys in the championship run. So, you got a lot of non-points guys up here in front of like Berger sitting back in 13th. He's got to step it up if he wants to get some points and maximize his points before moving out of here and moving on to the next race. We got points guys scattered out right now, with Joseph leading and Peterson in 3rd. You got Hamilton in 5th, Butcher Benjamin 6th, McGill just taking over the 8th spot, and Berger, the last of the playoff drivers, sitting back in 13th. He's got to do something and do it quick.
Yeah, I mean, for the 97, he's back in 13th place. He's on a pretty similar strategy as some of the other drivers in front of him, but he's got a lot of work to get moving forward as the challenges for that 5th place position continue on. Sean Deal now going to be trying to make a move for 6th, as Holden McGill going to be pushed down to the yellow line. Got to be careful for some of these drivers, as still bumping and grooving as we are less than 30 laps to go, coming to 20 to go in 5 laps. If we're going to be seeing these guys coming up here shortly and just, looking at these fields, if we're going to be seeing a caution, it might be around 6th place. It was around 8th last time, but we're seeing all these drivers on top of one another.
Yeah, these guys are certainly bunched up, and I bet you the one car wishes he had fresh tires on right now because he's kind of slowly slipping back as these guys are getting up and in around him. And right now, the 49 taking to the inside of the one. This is some close racing, exciting racing, but they're keeping it green and exciting. Look at the 97s right there coming up behind Butcher Benjamin too. We were just talking about him and how he's got to get moving forward, and it looks like he's trying to do that right now.
Doing their best, gaining as many positions as possible. And the one of Butcher Benjamin did his best to stay out front on the last restart, but has fallen back to 10th and might lose even more positions as you're just seeing the tire difference. It is certainly hurting the one, as Uphold's going to be making the pass moves to see one of the drivers that was up front challenging for a win. He's trying to make his charge forward with that of Holden McGill as well as that of Ryan Dingler. Those three drivers all had been making the charge forward together as they all came into pit road together. But up front, Joseph, the only real challengers he's got is Springer and Grant Peterson, who these three drivers, their goal, pull away from the rest of the field and just make it a battle between three.
They're certainly trying to do that. They'd rather keep their little pack there to a minimum, and it's certainly happening. But 20 is running his line and holding his own, and Springer's trying to figure out which way he's got to go to get around him. And then you got the 52 right there. They're keeping it a close bunch. Some exciting racing going on still in the back. Logan Hamilton in the 12, minding his own business there. In the 5th spot, I think maybe he's waiting 15 to go or so, and then he's going to probably try to charge up there and see what he can do. But solid run right now under the green flag.
20 to go with the 20 up front. Joseph, he won at Daytona last week to start off our championship 6 as that round. He had to make a last dash move in overtime for Joseph to win over Emerson Arden, and he got it done. Now here tonight, he is banking on the fact for Joseph. He was a part of the first wreck that came out between himself and Grant Peterson, and they are now duking it out in our top 3. While the rest of the field, they're just falling back as looking at some of the other drivers that are trying to make their moves forward. I mean, Chris, the laps continue to tick away, and some of the hopes for some of these other drivers, I bet they were hoping to see a little bit of falter from the 20, but sometimes you just need to be in the right circumstance late in the race to have a good finish.
Certainly, sometimes it comes down to that, just being in the right place at the right time. And, I think you mentioned that about the 20 before, earlier in the race, where these guys probably wanted something to go downhill for the 20, and then I think the 20 got wrecked. So they're probably like, yeah. But certainly the 20 has rebounded and is right where he wants to be right now, leading the race, looking for a second straight victory, and certainly looking to carry this massive momentum into the last and final race of the season. The 20 certainly getting it done right now.
Last race of the season is going to be at Darlington next week, where we will crown our champion. Joseph trying to go into that race with the most points possible for himself. He might not have gained the most during stage 1 and stage 2, but he certainly has been doing well here late in the race as the drivers come across the line, continue to see the laps ticking away. And looking at these drivers this round, championship round, it was only 3 races as the 6 blinks off, gets loose, and into the inside wall, and yellow will fly.
Oh my goodness.
This was exactly what Butcher Benjamin wanted. And for most of the field, it's decision time if you want to come in and use your final sets of tires.
This is going to change everything. The 20 has to make a massive decision here. Yeah, does he stay out and keep track position, or is he going to come in and get pit service? A lot of things can happen here if he hits pit road and the rest of the field stays out, or if he stays out and everybody else hits pit road. This is going to juggle things up, and it's going to certainly make it exciting.
You could tell the 6 was not trying to bring out that yellow, just got loose out of the corner and found himself going around.
It looked like he was going to get up into the wall and tried to lift there a little bit, got a little loose, and ended up into the inside wall there, bringing out this yellow flag. Looks like the 20 car stayed out, and the majority of everybody else came down pit road. This may not be good for the 20 car.
Well, I'm trying to count back, but I think Joseph might not have a set of tires here. I think that might be the big issue. Another driver that stayed out was that of Robert Pattengill. That's going to be staying out for himself. And oh boy, when you have the rest of the field come behind you, getting tires, what was looking like another win, get 2 in a row for Joseph. Go for win number 5 this season. Oh, now he's got to be nervous. It's Colin Stone, another driver that is able to stay out. But Stone got the wave around, back on the lead lap. All 18 drivers on the lead lap currently, but we'll see if Springer can get back out there on track, because I believe Springer has already used his fast repair, so he'll have to manually repair all of this damage. Everyone that came in used tires, and leading that group going to be Grant Peterson, with Logan Hamilton following right behind him.
We are seeing exactly what I was mentioning. It's hard to be a race leader out here and decide whether to make the trip down pit road or not. And we saw it. Everybody else came down pit road pretty much behind him, leaving the 20 out there. So the 20's got to deal with what he's got left and see if he can make it work.
He certainly is going to have to figure out how to make this thing work, because you got the 20 as well as the 33. They're going to be your front row, but everyone else behind our front row have tires. And we saw for that at Butcher Benjamin, he was able to try to hold on for at least a lap to a lap and a half. But you're going to have a little bit more than that, unless if we see a quick caution come out. That might be the best option for Joseph to have a shot here. But if this race goes green to the end, the 20 is going to be in some trouble here quickly.
I'm thinking he's going to be. He certainly didn't get any help by more cars staying out to kind of have a little bit of a buffer between him and these other guys that took tires. You literally have the 52 of Peterson and the 12 of Hamilton right behind him with fresher tires. They're going to charge up there and take that lead from the 20 here, probably within a lap or two.
Drivers still waiting on the pace truck's lights to go off to give us the indication of 1 to go, which you'd imagine for Joseph, he's loving the fact that we're continuing to have pace laps, because that means more laps going down, less laps he needs to try to hold off the drivers behind him. But the key has to be on this restart. How well will the 20 just take off? Is he going to take off immediately once he gets into the restart zone for these drivers, or will he wait? I mean, Chris, when you're in these types of scenarios, when you got a full field behind you and you're stuck with 30 lap older tires, it's got to be feeling pretty demoralizing to be up front.
Oh, certainly. I'm pretty sure that he was saying a few words inside that race car when that yellow flag came out. He probably felt that he had a car to do it and get this race done and sealed up, get that second straight win. But then the yellow flag comes out, and it's just one of those things in racing. You know, it happens, and you just got to try to figure out what to do and move forward from it, because there's nothing else you can do. So we'll see if he's got what it takes to keep that lead and finish it off.
Well, here they lie. Joseph, Robert Pattengill. Your front row going to be the drivers on 33 lap old tires. The rest of the field on freshies. It's going to be that of Grant Peterson, Logan Hamilton, Olden McGill, that of Barrett Morton, as well as Anthony Mosati, Sean Zeal, Jeremy Berger, as well as that of Ryan Dingler. Your top 10. Drivers, wait. Pace truck is off. And we are green. Joseph immediately taking off. Pattengill goes immediately to the high line, letting everyone drive on by.
Here they go through turns 1 and 2. 33 gets pretty wide up there. 20's currently holding off to the 12 of Hamilton as he goes to the outside of the 52 Peterson. You got the 21 coming up there, McGill. These top 4 guys are all playoff drivers. The 20, the only one up there with older tires. As the 12 gets loose and he gets into the wall.
Overcorrected and immediately into the wall is the 12. Yellow flag waves. 8 laps to go. This might put us inside of a regulation green-white checkered finish. But for Logan Hamilton, he just overcorrected and that 12 launched up into the wall. Here's the replay. and trying to get aggressive, trying to get back onto the quarter panel, just snaps right onto the outside wall. And luckily, everyone else avoided the 12, but that could have been a big one for sure. But disaster for the 12 machine. We're going to be on board. Look at those hands. Once coming out of the corner. Feels the loose sensation, trying to overcorrect in right into the outside wall.
That is certainly unfortunate for the 12, trying to push hard there with those fresh tires. But this certainly helps the 20, like you mentioned earlier, with the quick caution coming out. This is kind of eating up the laps, and that's less time that the 20 has to worry about holding off these guys. So we'll see what happens. I'm wondering if we're going to be under a green-white checkered scenario here.
We're the wait and see, as I don't believe there's any lucky dogs we really have to worry about, as Richard Springer still in pit road getting repairs done. He did not have a fast repair left. He used that back during stage 1, so he'll be getting repairs done. Logan Hamilton going to be coming into pit road this time by. Keep an eye on the 12, see if he had a fast repair still left for himself. But oh man, Robert Pattengale just got out of the way immediately, kind of left Joseph all on his own to defend himself. I mean, I respect the call by the 33, trying to make sure he was not involved in anyone else's issues. But oh boy, this field, I mean, yes, it's only going to be a couple of laps that the 20's going to have to worry about. As looking at the damage, I don't believe the 12 had a fast repair. He's still in pit road getting service done.
Yeah, the 12 it's unfortunate that happened. It looks like he's not going to end up with the finish that he was hoping for. But some of these other guys still have a shot. The 52, the 21, they're still thinking about how they're going to get around this 20 car. We'll see. We'll see if these newer tires can do it. But the 20, I think the 20 needs to take this next restart a little differently, kind of shake it up a little bit so that these other guys don't anticipate what he's been doing in the past.
Yeah, I mean, there is a restart zone. You only can take off in that zone. If you take off after that zone, if you don't start going by the end of the restart zone, then everyone else kind of has gifted to take off. Oh man, driver is talking and about different strategies to be here. And you know, look, touching back on the Logan Hamilton incident, I mean, we heard from that of Holden McGill during his interview after winning stage 2. It just seems like the drivers want to get those tires heated up, and that was the first restart with the tires that they had just put on. So they really didn't have a shot to really warm up the tires as much as the 12 probably wanted to, and was used to the older rubber where he could just gas it when he wanted to. And that obviously did not work out for the 12. And now the question is for the rest of the field, are we going to see anyone else make a very similar mistake of getting on the throttle too soon? Because it's go time. There's no more waiting. You've only got a few more laps to make the move. Chris, tensions are at its highest now on who's going to get the win and the best finish here.
You are absolutely right. Tensions are going to be high. These guys, they cannot let loose. They cannot let go. They got to put the pedal to the metal. They got to get going. They got to get up there and try to get this win. Which one's going to do it? We don't know. But we can see that some of these guys, the 97 is up there. Any one of these guys up here can have a shot at making this a victory for themselves, as long as they don't get caught up in some incident. But the 20 has command of the race right now. And with the older tires, it's just praying that he gets a clean restart, gets into turn 1, gets onto the backstretch, and is also praying that the race just stays green to the end.
And the drivers can take a deep breath as they are preparing to take off here. And it is going to be a green-white checkered when we go green. That means they're going to have 2 laps to go. If we get to the white flag and there is no yellow, then we will race it to the end. But if a yellow flag comes out, we then go into overtime. And some drivers excited for the type of runs that we're seeing. But here's our ticker. The drivers that have the gray backgrounds behind their number, they've won a stage. Al Green won stage 1. Holden McGill won stage 2. Drivers in green over their names, they're the ones that are in our Championship 6, trying to have the best finish to really set themselves up for a great shot. Pace truck is off. It's time to see who's going to win here. For the We Raise Bacon 200, it's going to be Joseph immediately gassing his way forward. He's got 3-car length lead currently as they're side-by-side duking it out. It's going to be that of Peterson, Holden McGill behind them. 2, 3 wide into the wall. Going to be the 8 of Dingler, but we still stay green as we go into turn number 3. As they're coming out of turn number 4. Open for the white flag is Joseph sliding, holding on to Holden McGill. White flag's in the air. We're finishing this thing out.
We certainly are. This race is going to be official. The 20 car still holding on to the lead. The 52 and the 49 following in suit. 21, 97 rounding out your top 5. Here they go into turn 3. Joseph maintains the lead. The 52 is right there. Looking to the inside as they come off turn 4. Sam, take it away to the finish.
Grant Peterson, he made my contact a little bit, but it's Joseph winning here in Iowa as they all go scattering behind. Oh my goodness, Grant able to hold on for at least second, but drivers meleeing on the entry of turn 1 after crossing the line. And the 20 gets spun on the 97, and whoa, the 8 also giving a hard knock as they're all piling in.
Wow, what a finish.
Out now.
What a finish, but Joseph in the 20 was able to use those older tires and hold on to get his second straight victory. Your top 5, the 20, Joseph, Peterson, Musati, McGill, and the 97 of Berger, able to bring home a top 5 finish. What an exciting finish to this one, Sam.
Absolutely. Joseph has shown to the field that he blows his engine. Just too much damage for him to continue on. He was a part of the first wreck, and the driver that got him spun around was contact from the 52, who finishes in second place. He was part of our first wreck. It was constantly rebounding, coming back, found himself up front with the rest of the field with fresher tires, over 30-lap fresher tires than the 22, but still comes out strong. As we're going to look at our unofficial final results here, and looking at it, Joseph in the 20 getting the win. Grant Peterson going to be getting second place. Anthony Musti going to be getting third. Holden McGill, as well as Berger, going to be getting fifth. With that, Barrett Morton going to be getting 6th position for the 9. Great showing for the 9 machine. We have not seen him for most of the season, and going to be getting a 6th place finish. Ryan Dingler going to be getting 7th. John Deal in 8th. Taylor Butcher Benjamin going to be getting 9th, with that of Barrick Uphold in 10th position. And we look at the rest of the field and where they lie. Logan Hamilton, you know, he was hoping for a better run. 14th is the best for himself. Most dominant car for the stage 1, Cal Green, taken out late, was not able to finish out the race. But for a lot of these playoff drivers going into next week, all eyes on Joseph, as he's going to be having already 2 wins in this championship round. As we head to Darlington, a lot of pressure on. As we're going to step aside, when we come back, we're going to be interviewing our top 3, Joseph, Grant Peterson, Anthony Musati. Thanks for joining us on LSRTV for the L-TAC Cup Series presented by Tucson Sound Art. We'll be back in just a few for post-race interviews.
There are moments that surprise and delight the mind and the senses. Introducing Sound Art, the world's first truly customizable, concealed, flat panel art speaker system. A revolutionary combination of incredible sound delivered from your most meaningful pictures. When art and technology intersect, there is a seamless blend of creativity and function.
Come alive in the streetlight, pulling at the stars in the moonlight. Every time I feel you close.
With Sound Art, anyone can print their own artwork or pick from numerous licensed artwork that we have. The possibilities are limitless. Enjoy beautiful and amazing sound throughout your home. The entire surface of your artwork generates incredibly robust sound. Sound Art is elegantly hidden behind a high-grade, textured canvas wrap, bringing together the best of sound and art. This innovative design allows for a truly invisible, high-fidelity sound experience without bulky speakers. For licensors and other businesses, we are capable of producing thousands of units per day.
We're using the highest quality materials to give you the best product available in the market. Everywhere you look, there's always art. What I like so much about sound art, that you could just pair it and play.
Ansia, your art never sounded so good.
Every customer, every single time, needs to get our very best. From moment one, my goal managing a team here in the dealership is to make sure that that customer's experience is the very best that they've ever had. We expect and demand total transparency. There should never be a time in that transaction where the customer is wondering or not quite sure of what they're buying or what they're paying or those sorts of things. And having that transparency and doing things the right way is super important.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the L-TAC Cup Series presented by Tucson Sound Art. Just got done with the penultimate race where we got to see Joseph winning once again in the championship round. He won last week at Daytona and wins here at the We Raise Bacon 200 at Iowa Speedway. But the two drivers coming up behind him, that of Grant Peterson, Anthony Musati, coming up just shy. They had fresh rubber, but just not enough speed. Anthony, third place finish for this 49 team, but you certainly had to make a little bit of a recovery. Try to make green flag pit stops. There was a slight mistake, but you came back for the third place finish, even with that little bit of a falter.
Yeah, I just missed my entry a little bit, and then I had Richard coming up hot on me, so I was trying to not get run over at the same time. So I just made a mistake on that part.
I mean, Anthony, it just seems like since you came back after a little bit of a break during the playoffs and coming out here, finishing out the end of the season, you've been getting faster and faster. How was your thoughts of touching this course? It seemed to be pretty tricky for most.
Yeah, I really like Iowa just because it's slick, it's fast. I just think it's fun, and it's also a tire track too. So it's just kind of one of my specialties, saving tires.
And Chris, do you have any questions for Anthony?
I don't know that I have any questions. I'll just say that 49 car looked pretty solid. Got out there and led some laps, and it looked like a fun race out there. Just congratulations to a podium finish, and good luck next week. Hopefully you can go out there and get a win, maybe upset these playoff drivers.
Thank you.
Yeah, Anthony, before we officially let you go, though, the floor is yours for any shout-outs.
I give a shout out to my sponsors, Pro Cup and Quick Pits, and then also my teammates, Grant, Holden, and Ryan.
And that's Anthony Musti in the 49. Great run for yourself. And in front of him, Grant, what a charge for yourself. You tried everything, it seemed like, there besides just dumping Joseph for the win. What else could you have tried there at the end?
I already dumped him earlier in the race, so I apologize for that. I just needed more rear brake. I was down as far as I could go on my brake bias, trying just to get it to rotate. Needed one more lap at least, and would have probably gotten there, but sucks to come up second place on my home track.
I mean, you were showing a lot of speed here tonight in that 52 car. What about this course seemed to be the hardest for you personally? Because it just seemed like from us up at the booth, it seemed like getting back on the throttle was one of the hardest things with that car's fishtailing so often.
Well, restarts, I was getting my butt kicked on. Every single one of them, I'd lose 2 or 3 spots. I almost lost a spot there on that last restart to Holden, but really, once we're up to speed, 3 and 4 is where I struggle the most. I was able to get 1 and 2 down pretty well, just nailing that bottom, but 3 and 4 I was never able to figure out, especially coming up off that turn 4, getting loose. A lot of guys had problems with that, though, so I don't think I had as many problems as those people did, like Logan when he wrecked right in front of me and just about needed me to get a new fire suit.
Hey, Chris, you got any questions?
Well, solid run there in the 52 tonight. Almost had it. What about next week? You're chasing a guy here in the 20 car that's got this massive momentum moving into the final race of the season. What do you think it's going to take to get the job done next week and win that championship?
Well, I'm going to need every point I can get. I think I'm still far behind. I know it's 21 points heading into this one. I don't know how far I am behind now. But Darlington, that's been a strong track for us. I know the 21 of Holden McGill is pretty quick there too. I've raced with him there quite a few times. I don't know how Joseph's going to be there. I think it'll be an interesting race, but I plan on winning there. So hopefully we're able to put this thing in victory lane down there and finally get back into victory lane.
That's a solid plan to go into a race with. And Grant, before we let you go, the floor is yours for any shout-outs.
Yeah, I want to thank everybody back at the Shop Badger Racing. Put together a hell of a car. I'd like to thank DeKalb, Seed, Hey Dude, HighPoint.com, everybody who comes on board with this thing, and most importantly, Nolan for putting together a great season, a great league. Be here for good.
And man, what a great run for yourself there, Grant, and good luck next week.
Thank you.
And now in victory lane, we find Joseph in the 20, 2 weeks in a row, and now the most winningest driver this season. Joseph, JJ, you got the win here, but it was a scrappy win. What a race it was for yourself, and talk about the different strategy you've had to be placed onto.
Yeah, like midway through the race, I really, I think it was at the end of the second stage. I didn't take any. I pitted like it was a little caution before the second stage. It was like 10 laps. I pitted there and took tires, and then I stayed out for the stage 2, so I gained track position that way. And really, it was really important to have track position all race. I mean, it was extremely hard to pass here, and yeah. So my goal was to gain track position. We got another caution like early in stage 3, so I took tires there again, and that's what got me to the lead, and ever since I didn't really leave it from it.
Yeah, I mean, Joseph, you're coming into tonight with the points lead. You're most likely going to be coming out with it as well, unless stage points shake things up. But
Yeah,
going into Darlington, how are you feeling about that race?
I'm pretty confident. Hopefully, it's probably gonna be a lot of throttle control with the new 750 horsepower power package, and I'm probably gonna try and I'm gonna have to be pretty aggressive because I think quick calculations like 7 points behind Holden, so I'm gonna have work to do because I didn't score really well at all in the first 2 stages, and hopefully we end up winning the championship. I still feel confident. I'm gonna try my absolute hardest, and hopefully we're gonna go out there and get that win.
And Chris, any questions?
I don't think I got any questions, but that 20 car looked pretty solid, especially what we went through tonight. Just want to say congratulations for the win here and for the win last week. You're carrying some solid momentum into next week, so hopefully things go your way, and good luck to you, and hopefully you close up the season with the championship.
Thank you.
And Joseph, before we let you go, the floor is yours for any shout-outs.
Shout out Pit Stop TV, Tucson Sound Art, everyone on my car, shout out to Grant for racing me clean at the end. I know we had a run earlier, but it's not like that big of a deal. But I applaud him for not like shoving me in the wall on the final lap. I mean, he kept it clean at the end, and that's all I can ask for. All the drivers pretty clean throughout the race, and it's all you can really ask for. Nolan's put together a pretty great league, so applaud him.
That's Joseph in the number 20 machine, getting another win in the championship round, and he's going to try to sweep it as well as collect the championship next week at Darlington. Good luck there, Joseph.
Thank you.
Well, Chris, as this night concludes, we go into next week knowing what the points are looking like. Joseph, after winning Daytona and winning here in Iowa, 11 points is the gap between himself and Holden McGill. Then 20 points out is that of Jeremy Berger, who as well, it's going to be one of the tallest tasks for that 97 to get any shot. And everyone else, it just gets slimmer and slimmer if they've even got a shot. In fourth, find that of Grant Peterson, who had a great run here tonight, but he already had a major deficit to even try to come in. He'll be 23 points back. Taylor Butcher Benjamin, 26 points back. And the biggest deficit, Logan Hamilton, going to be 28 points out. But, man, with the way that the stage points work, the way that finishes are going, it's still not out of the question for all 6 drivers, but it is certainly going to be tough for a majority of the guys out there. But Chris, tonight, what are some of your final thoughts?
Well, we certainly saw some exciting action here. We saw single file racing. We saw side by side action, sometimes 3, 4 wide. And we saw some guys getting some incidents, and some were able to rebound nicely from it, and some were not. And that's just part of racing. You're going to see that each and every week. And as they move into next week, the thing they just got to watch out for, or not really watch out for, but they just got to go in there and be patient. They're all running for a championship, but the one thing they got to keep in the back of their mind is the word mistake. You just got to avoid mistakes. Avoid mistakes. Just go in there, run your race, run your line, hit your marks, and just do the best you can do and try to stay focused. But tonight was an exciting race. It was my pleasure to join you guys again up here in the booth, and certainly look forward to it in the future. But yeah, thanks for having me.
Yeah, thanks, Chris, for joining us once again, and as well to Carlos Acosta for running productions as usual here on L-TAC for our Friday nights. Carlos has already announced that he will not be able to be here next week, so a huge thanks to Carlos for helping us throughout most of the season. But man, next week the stage is set. Joseph, our points leader, going in just 11 points out is Holden McGill, and the rest of the drivers 20 points or more going to Darlington. The pressure is on. Joseph, can he sweep, get 3 wins to finish out the season, or will we find someone else winning at Darlington? Thank you so much to everyone joining us here tonight on LSRTV. L-TAC Cup Series presented by Tucson Sound Art continues on last race next week. But if you want to see some of the fun new things LSRTV is doing, join us Monday night for so much fun racing. We've got cameras now for our commentators, and you want to see all the new things that we're even putting on that is just being built up on LSRTV. Monday night, Northwest Cup Series. It is exciting to see. Many secrets to be shown, more racing to be seen throughout the week, and we'll see you then. Have a great rest of your night, everybody.